Boys and girls, let's give a standing ovation to Dr. Anand.
Can I have all your attention, please? As we are moving ahead with the academic deliberations of day 2 of the International Conference, it gives me great pleasure to invite to our forum Professor Dr. Ravinarayan Subudhi, a stalwart in the field of management education and research. Please give him a big round of applause. And now I would like to request our Honorable Principal Secretary Dr. Ramji Mahanti to please welcome you to the forum of the College. Absolute honor, sir, to have you with all of us today. And now I request you to please come up on the stage and speak to our students and our faculty colleagues.
Respected Chief Architect of this beautiful temple, respected teachers of this beautiful temple, Astha College, and respected dignitaries, colleagues, and student friends. As some of you may be seeing me for the first time, this is my second visit, but while I started my teaching career long back, 3-4 decades back, I was listening about the evolution of this revolution called Astha. I was with Bharat University, then I came to Keith via VI to Aurora. But all along I was hearing a great about Hakim Babu and his personal trust activity. And I was really interested to visit such a wonderful institution for Astha. I'm fortunate to be here. And in this auspicious morning, let me vouch till my last breath, directly I will.
Thank you.
And I have been telling that I'm a learner. Every opportunity, every event, every occasion, I try to learn and try my best to convert to something. I have some experience of research publications. I have been associated with some decent journals, nationally, internationally approved. And we together, along with my colleagues, scholars, I might have edited good publications published by reputed publishers like Springer, Terra Francis, Emerald, and my teachers, those who are here, must be understanding, agree with me, when we publish book, we do not expect any return. Just a publication is a certificate and we are satisfied. Some of the books, when you get a reality, then you realize, oh, I have done some work. So whenever we are organizing a conference, if you can convert, if you can publish a proceeding which can be of some use, which can be cited, that will be better. And I know I have been observing Astha every year is making such value addition. I am very sure in the days to come, this kind of conferences will be converted to valuable publications. I won't take much. I wish you all. Thank you much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that insightful overview on your illustrious career. I'm sure our students and the faculty members, likewise, they have learned something new from your learnings. As far as I understand, a learner truly imbibes the essence of a learner when they understand that there is boundaries they need to keep pushing. And that is what you have embodied throughout your career. So thank you so much for that overview.
Yes.
I think patience is a virtue, and waiting patiently for our guests to arrive is something which can make all of us virtuous. So a very small thing, wait and be patient, and then you become virtuous. It's not, you're not giving much to anything. It's a very small kind of a thing, and then you actually claim that you're virtuous. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not killing time, but then I think since yesterday we have been deliberating on sustainability, we have been deliberating on inclusivity, and there was also a brainstorming of the conference hall, wherein some intellectuals were talking about whether we should continue with the same conference or should we have different themes of conferences. Well, I had certain things to what inclusivity actually meant, because yesterday I think we had discussions on marketing, on health and on education, and there were a lot of learnings. I do not know how much the students have learned, but then I think a small piece of advice from our end would be, you're going to live in a world henceforth which perhaps will be highly challenging, and the kind of actions which you have imbibed right now, the actions that you have undertaken right now, will make your life more challenging. I'll start with number one, and this is especially for those who use earphones. They are always plugged with earphones. So I'll start with this one. How it's going to be challenging. The survey report that talks about hearing health comes out with alarming statistics by 2030, 40% of the world will actually go deaf. Courtesy earphone. The ear which we have, which the Almighty God has given us, has got certain capacity. If we bombard the eardrum with more than that capacity, perhaps it cannot take it. We do not know, but our eardrums starts perforating. These are very subtle things, and when you realize it, when it becomes infectious, when you start getting pain, and it's too late. And when you go to an ENT specialist, the ENT specialist tells you that your eardrum is perforated, it's damaged, and you have to undergo a surgery or it needs to be removed. That causes partial deafness. Why I am talking about inclusivity is, maybe I have understood this aspect of perception better, and therefore I am sharing this with all of you. Now think of yourself if you are spending almost 12 hours in a day using an earphone and only listening through that earphone. You might have realized that over a period of time, you don't listen at the same decibel. You keep on increasing the volume. And you're not sensitive to lighter sounds in the environment. Every time somebody has to address you with a louder sound, that is an indication that your ear is giving up. Now, what happens after 20 years is that you also become a part of that community which needs inclusiveness. So would you let that happen? Number one. That's a question which all of us have to answer. If not, isn't prevention better than cure? And if prevention is better than cure, then can we reserve ourselves or restrict ourselves from getting into a self-imposed, self-inflicted damage? I suppose all of us understand that. Point 2. Eyes. Visuals. Smartphone is an excellent gadget. Like we were talking about visually challenged people. See, nature has perhaps not been so kind with them, and so they are visually challenged, and we are talking about inclusivity, etc., etc. But we are perfectly alright. But what are we doing with our eyes? And I'm especially referring to the so-called next generation, that's going to be the productive generation. We are aging, we'll be retired. And you are the people who are going to take over. So just think about your own self. How much screen time do you spend? When we say screen time, we are talking about this. How big are the alphabets? What kind of radiation comes out from this gadget? And unfortunately, AI. See, we all appreciate the importance of AI. We all appreciate this technology. However, there are always side effects of overuse. Even Amrit taken in overdose is vish. I suppose all of us know that. Anything which is good, but it is done in ati, if I use that Sanskrit word, it's dangerous. So what are we doing right now? We are perhaps creating another brigade of a community which perhaps will again stand and say we have to be included or we have to have an inclusive policy for ourselves because we are damaging lives. And as per Indian law, 40% of impairment is equal to disability. If you show 40% of disability, that means it is disabled. So if that is the case, then perhaps we are going to look at a particular community over a period of 20 years that is actually challenged community. It's either visually challenged or it is hearing impaired, or maybe both. And if that is the reality, then perhaps it's time that we start working on this aspect as well. Are we pushing ourselves to that limit wherein we will also be talking about include us, because your younger generation would be fairly a better generation and they would say that you have these disabilities. So will not prevention be better than cure? Second point. Third point. We are also moving towards physical disabilities. How are we moving towards physical disabilities? We are not using our body as a temple in our ancient knowledge system. We call our body as a temple. Sir, you might have taught that. And it has to be respected as a temple. But are we respecting our body as a temple? We are stuffing this little tummy with whatever we get. It could be toxic, it could be detrimental, it could be harmful, but we are just stuffing ourselves, leading to, obviously, either mental disability or physical disability. A sane population, an intelligent population, pushing itself towards a community which is actually known as a disabled community. And this is something which we are doing consciously. We are not doing it unconsciously, nor is it given by the nature. Why am I talking about all this? Because if we want to talk about future sustainability, we need to think about this. Who are we trying to sustain? What are we trying to sustain? Ourselves, our future, and if we are trying to sustain our future, then what are we doing to ourselves at present? Yesterday, our keynote speaker, he very well acknowledged this aspect, that what you want to do, you do it now. There is nothing like tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Even if it comes as today. And so what time you have is only the present. So what you want to do is only in the present. And if we continue doing what we are doing with our body, with our eyes, with our hearing, this hearing instrument which the Almighty God has given us, then perhaps we'll land up leading people that please include us. We are also able. And this would be really damaging for the whole world. And this is the reality. So I think about it. It's very important. When we thought about this topic for doing international conference, in fact you can see the picture, beautifully designed by Satyanath Sir, Padi Babu, Mahamaya Madam. They have all worked very hard on creating this theme. You can see there is a globe, there is greenery, the house is also green, you have renewable energy, and you have people. And if you intricately look at those people, you find there are people who have challenges. And these challenges have been created naturally for them. But tomorrow our pictures will be there. We will be challenged because we have created those challenges for ourselves. It needs a lot of prudence, a lot of intelligence, and I suppose human beings are quite intelligent. And human beings can assess what they require and what they don't require. It's not like discard something. It's like use it only when you need it. Need is always greater than greed. Greed takes you towards destruction. And need helps you building your own life, own future. So those who haven't perhaps felt the importance of the topic, sustainability and inclusivity, for them I think I have made a small gesture, I have created a small platform or backdrop where you understand, okay, this is what we actually need. Because when we say ban plastics, you say, if I don't use plastic, what happens? Others are using plastic. When we say plant a tree, I plant a tree, what happens? There are other people who don't plant a tree. We talk about global warming. It's a good topic for debates. It's a good topic for standing there and giving prizes or writing essays. But then when we say that if you reduce carbon footprint, you can actually reduce global warming. Then we say, oh, what is to us? How can we do it? So a very simple thing you can do. Stop using or overusing your earphone. Stop overusing your mobile phone. Reduce your screen time. Give rest to your eyes. Give rest to your ear. Give rest to your body. Fasting is also a very good exercise. It rejuvenates you. Right? So this is something which is for all of us to practice and understand. Any questions from the students? Even if it is the silliest question. See, I am neither the chief guest, nor am I the guest of honor, nor am I the guest of eminence. Any questions? For questions also nowadays, everyone uses a mobile. To ask a question, I need to use the mobile. To find out what question should I ask.
Asking a question is also a medium level question.
Yes, sir. It's the most interesting thing is that the meta has actually captured their intelligence, complete intelligence. It has sucked it as if it were a vacuum, a huge spatial vacuum which has sucked their intelligence. For everything you have a meta, right? For asking questions also you have the meta. Yes? Okay, so you don't have a question? Then I have a question for you. As simple as that. Number one way in which you think you can contribute to sustainability. Anyone?
Playing spiritual path.
Okay.
It's better for sustainability because आज के डेट में देख रहे हैं कितना सारा प्रॉब्लम्स और कितना सारे डिजीज हो रहे हैं. तो हम लोग को आप जैसे बोले कि हमारा शरीर एक टेम्पल है, हमारे अंदर भगवान बसता है. तो हम लोग को अपने भगवान को बचाने के लिए हमें अपने आप के ऊपर भी ध्यान देना होगा. तो हम लोग ऐसे लोगों को जागरूक कर सकते हैं कि हमारा शरीर हमारे लिए कितने इम्पोर्टेंट है। लोग आज के डेट में बिजी हो गए मटेरियलिस्टिक थिंग के लिए कि लोग अपने आप के ऊपर टाइम नहीं दे पाते हैं। मेन ये प्रॉब्लम है आज की जो जनरेशन है। इनफैक्ट हम जैसे सब कोई है, हम लोग चाहते हैं यार पैसा हो, गाड़ी हो, बंगला हो, सब कोई इसके पीछे जा रहे हैं। तो उसके चलते हम लोग आज के डेट में अपने ऊपर ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं। तो ये एक कंसर्न हो चुका है लाइफ में। और आज के जो हमारे जैसे हम लोग हैं, यंगस्टर्स हैं, हम भी हैं, पर मेरा कुछ ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं उतना ड्रीम्स नहीं रखता हूँ लाइफ के, तो मैं उतना एक्सपीरियंस नहीं हूँ, मेरे को ना गाड़ी घोड़ा कुछ ऐसा शौक नहीं है। पर जैसे जो आज जिनका शौक है तो उन लोग क्या होता है कि उन लोग इतना घुस जाते हैं अपने फ्यूचर को इतना ज़्यादा बनाने के चक्कर में कि उन लोग अपने ऊपर ध्यान नहीं दे पाते हैं, अपने आसपास के लोगों पर ध्यान नहीं देते हैं। पहले के लोग जैसे हमारे दादाजी लोग हुआ करते थे, उन लोग गैदरिंग करते थे, अपना दुख भाव बांटते थे। इससे क्या होता है, टेंशन डिप्रेशन जैसे कुछ नहीं था। मैं दादाजी लोग के साथ बैठता हूँ, नाना जी के साथ बैठता हूँ, उनसे बातचीत करता हूँ कि आपके टाइम पे इतना जिंदगी कैसे अच्छा था, टेंशन डिप्रेशन एंजाइटी क्यों नहीं था। बोलते कि देखो बेटा, हम लोग क्या करते थे, हम लोग उतना कुछ सोचते नहीं थे, जो है आज के लिए जी रहे हैं, कल तो हो या ना हो उसका कोई परवाह तो नहीं है। पर हाँ, हम लोग दुख बांटते थे, दुख बांटने से कम होता है और सॉल्यूशन निकलता है। तो यही सॉल्यूशन निकालना है, तो बांटते हैं क्या आइडियाज निकलेगा, यानी कैसे उसको सॉल्व कर सकते हैं। और ये है कि स्पिरिचुअल पाथ इज नॉट अबाउट ओनली भक्ति, कि आप भक्ति में नहीं है, तो स्पिरिचुअलिटी मीन्स आप अपने ऊपर ध्यान दे रहे हैं। जैसे बोलते हैं कि ब्रह्मचार्य बनना, ब्रह्मचारी इज ऑल अबाउट डिसिप्लिन। आप रोज सुबह में जल्दी उठ रहे हैं, आप अपना व्यायाम और योगा सब पाठ पूजा पाठ कर रहे हैं, अपना खाना टाइम से ले रहे हैं, ये चीज़ आप कर सकते हैं लाइफ में। और सस्टेनेबिलिटी जरूरी है, अपने आप को बचाना तो बहुत ज़रूरी है। और ऐसे आईटी स्टूडेंट अभी जैसे हमको पता है कि स्क्रीन टाइमिंग कम नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि पूरा टाइम लैपटॉप मोबाइल रिसर्च में ही टाइम चला जाता है। तो ये एक चीज़ है कि इसको हम कम कर नहीं सकते, बट हाँ तो रेस्ट ले सकते हैं।
Thank you. Spiritualism is your way. Okay. Anybody else? And I think I didn't get your name. Joy, right? Joy. Screen time cannot be reduced for IT professionals. I think that's why special screens have also been designed, which radiates less, and then the eyes are fairly better protected as compared to this one.
Yes, ma'am, but it will take time.
It is there, it is available, but then this is more damaging than these large screens that we have. Okay, thank you. Any learned student?
Ma'am, for studying sustainability, we can simply use public transportation for traveling in our day-to-day life rather than using bike or cars unless it is necessary.
Okay, fine. So you are trying to reduce pollution. You are trying to reduce pollution. I believe that. Fine. And what will you do? You will do the same. So he is taking a vow today that he will not use car or personal vehicle. He will only use public transport.
Public transport. It doesn't mean that you will not use. You will use. But you will make it easier.
So we can put other. Okay. Alright. Anything else?
Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, as an MBA student, I can integrate ethics in every decision, overlapping the profit I get to maintain sustainability.
Okay. Good. Anyone from the back side? Jaiprakash is still visible.
He's a tall fellow, madam.
No, sir, but it's like, the giraffe tried to hide itself behind the grass.
And he do have a lovely hairstyle also. Not only the hair also comes out because he always feels like I feel absolutely jealous of it because I am having a completely life.
It's very interesting. The way he actually bore down, it was exactly like the giraffe bowing its neck and then trying to figure out that, okay, the lion tiger has not seen me. You can simply close your eyes. Yes, anyone else? So I think the idea is very simple. This international conference actually tries to make all of us understand from the perspective of researchers, from the perspective of paper presenters, from the perspective of corporate people, that whatever we have done, and we means I'm taking onus on this generation. Lot of experiments, lot of scientific inventions, rampant use of technology without realizing what are the side effects of that technology. You do not make that mistake. The biggest thing that we have done is that we have introduced lot many things which are for the convenience of human beings. However, we haven't seen the flip side of it. Or maybe we have neglected the flip side of it. You usually do a kind of analysis wherein you try to gauge, you try to weigh what is better. No? Benefits are more or you have less benefits. You try to figure it out. And when we find that the benefits are more and the demerits are less, then perhaps we go ahead and do it. But the demerits get assimilated, it gets accumulated over a period of time and it becomes really dangerous. So again, we will not start the morning with a sordid or a morose statement. We all have a very positive and optimistic outlook. So let's go ahead and do what we can do. At least we can take care of what we just now discussed. Somebody said I'll take care of my body and my mind and my soul by being spiritual. Somebody else said that I'll try to use public transport, and someone else said that I want to be ethical all the way. So that will perhaps help us build a more sustainable future. Okay, thank you very much. I think we'll see, we'll start the session practically. Since both our speakers are going to join from the US, and the time right now is 2 a.m. for one and 3 a.m. for the other, it's becoming difficult for them to get connected. Once they get connected, we may take the position of the chair, track chair, stop for a while and then listen to it. With that, thank you very much for listening, and I'm hopeful, optimistic that the students who are listening to me will at least try to abide by what I said right now. Reduce your listening time, reduce your screen time. Thank you so much.
As we move ahead with the academic deliberations of day 2, it gives me immense pleasure to present for you a stalwart in the field of management and research. Dr. Subudhi has had an illustrious teaching career spanning over 3 decades, having served Berhampur University for more than 20 years, followed by impactful stints at VIT Business School, Bangalore and Pitt University, where he contributed for 17 years as a professor of management, specializing in quantitative techniques and research methodology. He currently serves as a mentor advisor to CUTM's Business School in Palma, MOT. Beyond teaching, Dr. Subudhi has made rich contributions to research and publication. He has edited and published 60 books, served on the editorial boards of several reputed journals. and cited 15 doctoral scholars as well. His editorial leadership with the UGC care-listed Parikalpana Kit Journal of Management for over 12 years is especially commendable. Sir, we are privileged to have your scholarly presence and guidance in this track. We warmly welcome you and look forward to your valuable moderation and insights throughout the session. Thank you so much. And now I would like to request the Honorable Executive Director of Secretary Dr. Bangli Mahanti sir to please come up on the stage and share with us a few of his insights.
So thank you very much, Professor Devpurna. Honorable Chair of this particular track too, Professor Dr. R.N. Subhadi. My principal, Professor Dr. Chandra Subramanian, Professor Dr. Ashok Kumar Panda, Director Secretary Compliance and Communication, leads and the respected faculty colleagues, administrators, paper presenters, and my dear students. We are just waiting for another gentleman to reach, and I am sure within another 10 to 12 minutes, Dr. Bhagirath and I, as the co-chair, will be joining us. But however, there are few words being spelled out by Professor Subhadi. Because during my tenureship of these 32 years, I have been interacting with many of the gentlemen, many of the renowned academicians, industry scholars, those who have come across and given their valuable inputs in terms of designing this particular Astha School of Management. And he is one among them. Now saying so, he spelled a word, sir, I am touched by the manner in which you receive, you extend your hospitality and the greetings to any of the gentlemen who reaches to the premises of Astha School of Management. Sir, he belongs to be Aditi Devabhava and firmly believe in Vasudeva Kutumbakam. With that principle, that vision in mind, we at Astha try to do and invite the same culture among our students also. It is not like that we only perceive those ideas and thoughts. We try to translate it, we try to convert it among to the next generation where they can take this up. Because the value system matters a lot here at Astha School of Management. We are strongly rooted to it. It is not like that we say it, we make it a matter of practice. And probably that's the reason, sir. In our day-to-day curriculum at 9:45, we every day we go with the institutional pair and we try to observe it. Even if the security guard or the canteen boy who is there, for the 2 minutes of time we stand there and we bow down to the Almighty for a safer day to come. With that perception in mind, we start our work, start our journey in the premises of Astha School of Management. Now, this particular international conference on inclusivity and sustainability is having a far-reaching impact in the coming days to come or coming years to come. As been well said by our inaugural chief guest, nothing is tomorrow. You have to start it today and right now. And I hope the impact is visible. Now, few of the students, few of the paper presenters have started realizing the fact and figure that what are the things, what are the decisions I am taking in terms of sustainable society or an inclusive society. So let us feel proud of it that out of this during this deliberation, many of us might be coming down to a conclusion that these are the steps what I am going to take in my day-to-day life in terms of making an inclusive society or making the Earth planet sustainable. So that is how we can move, we can proceed further. I am sure the papers to be presented in this particular track too in the areas of human resource. Probably that is the track 2 which is focusing on. And the chair and co-chair will do absolute justice there in terms of evaluating the papers, giving their valuable inputs and remarks in terms of further improvement. What are the areas on which we should work more, or the researchers or the paper presenters has to work. These valuable inputs will help us in taking the research to the next level. Yesterday, late evening, we do have some valuable discussion with Professor Manik Mishra along with our principal madam. Because as an institution, we look at this international conference. We have been doing national conferences years together. And this is the first time in the history of Astha School of Management that we have been able to organize one international conference. This is a kickstart what we have given. Now the feedback or the input what we are getting from the chair and co-chair is the quality of research has gone up. The paper presenters are good. And now we want to take it further also. A beautiful theme in the shape of inclusivity and sustainability has been taken up. Now let us look forward how the second edition of this international conference can take this research further. And I am sure the paper contributors or the researchers or the scholars, those who are presenting a paper, they will not leave their research there. They will move further, do more research with the inputs or the insights what we are getting from the chair and the co-chair, or any other stalwarts, those who are speaking it out here, and that will help us in truly making one inclusive society. There are a lot of things which will be said during these 2 days of deliberation and discussion. I am sure each one of us will be benefited out of it. And that might be one of the reasons why we are launching it online YouTube also. Anybody who is not able to come and join us physically also, they can visualize, they can listen. Online streaming is going on. But however, it is a sincere request to all my beloved students. You are here, there is a basic purpose. And the purpose is very defined to all of you. And as per my knowledge goes, you are here with a primary objective of continuing your education, that is a master's in business administration, and probably to make a career. If that remains a fact, you cannot be rather a virtual audience. Once you are there in the premises of Astha School of Management, you have to be physically present and be a part of this lovely journey. There is a minimum expectation what Astha School of Management is having from all of you. It is not the duty of the faculty members or the administrators to go and call you. And that is the worst thing which is happening. As if something, a marriage ceremony is going on and we are supposed to invite all of you. And few of you rather feel great that you have shown some sort of mercy. I am sure our co-chair has reached, and I welcome Dr. Bhagirathi Naik to this particular gathering of the second day of international conference. And I will not take much of your time. And I will surely hand over the session to Professor Redupurna, who will proceed further. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
I now welcome Honorable Executive Director cum Secretary Dr. Pankaj Mahanti sir to please welcome our track co-chair Professor Dr. Bhagirathi Naik to the podium with a flower bouquet and honor him for gracing the occasion with his beloved children. For those unversed, Dr. Nayak is a seasoned academician and a research result-oriented professional with over 25 years of experience spanning computer science, bioinformatics, management, and academic administration. Having served at the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, Dr. Nair brings with him deep expertise in big data, data mining, and data analytics, fields that are increasingly pivotal to global development and sustainability efforts. Currently, he is associated with Shri Shri University, Cuttack as an associate professor and head of the Department of Information and Communication Technology, and also plays a key role in shaping the MBA program. Sir, we are honored to have you join us as the track co-chair, and we look forward to your valuable support in steering today's discussion towards meaningful insights and outcomes. Thank you, sir. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Shraddha Padma Das, who is going to act as the rapporteur and the session coordinator for track 2 and drive the proceedings forward. Ma'am, please come, take over. May I also request our esteemed chair and co-chair to come up on the stage and take the respective seats. But before we proceed any further, I would really request Professor Dr. Bhagirathi Naik sir to share a few words and his insights in the forum. We've already heard and listened from Professor Subudhi, and we would love to have the same from you, sir.
Thank you very much. So, good morning all of you. So, I think I'm more excited or participants are excited?
We all are excited.
All are excited. So, nothing to say. Basically, like if you can say like sustainability. So, what is the sustainability? Already you have listened from yesterday itself. But again, I will say long thing about the sustainability. I think it will be boring. Yeah? Yes or no? Please. Boring. Yeah, I won't say. So immediately we will start that. But before that, I can say one thing. Sustainability in every area, not in the management area, the other area also. Everybody is suffering like the sustainability. Everybody is thinking like that. What is the sustainability? How we can sustain? Like one example, I can say, when the computer came in a market, but now it's a booming. Everybody is saying AI, ChatGPT, something like machine learning came in a market. IT वाला ने हाथ प्रोवाइड कर बैठा है, but it's not true. My friend, I'm telling you, it's not true. किसी के जॉब नहीं जाएगा. So it will help you so that your time will take the minimized time. Whatever you are taking like a long time, like 1 hour job, it will come to the 10 minutes and 15 minutes. Right? But sometimes, like one example I can tell you, like when the computer newly came in India, so that may be 1982 or something like that. So that time we are in school. So everybody is saying, अरे कंप्यूटर आ जाएगा इंडिया में तो सभी का नौकरी चल जाएगा. What will do? बैंकिंग स्टाफ क्या करेंगे? अब पूरे लोगों के अभी वो ट्रेनिंग देंगे क्या? How they will handle the computer like this? But ultimately what happened? कंप्यूटर आने के बाद किसी का जॉब गया क्या? हाँ? No. So they are sustained. How sustained? Because you have to develop yourself, and you have to like whatever you have to know the technique. New technology has came in the market, so you have to know the new technology, how you can adapt and how you can utilize that thing. Now everybody without computer, anything is possible to nowadays. No. If child also खाना नहीं खा रहे हो बेटा मोबाइल देख लो, ठीक है? बेटा मोबाइल देखते रहे तो रील देखते रहे, जो रील हम नहीं देखते बेटा देखते हैं. So they are seeing the reel and you are taking the food. So this is the like a you can say the regular, I mean daily routine, or you can say like a food we are taking every day. So this is the requirement for the everyday. So like AI and ChatGPT, whatever you can say. Now how many students those are not using the ChatGPT? Raise your hand please. Those are not using the ChatGPT.
No
one.
No one.
See, so but ChatGPT is not like that. Whatever the project you will do, your ChatGPT se मार दिए और co-pilot से देख लिया and you can submit it. It's not like that. It will help you how we can design, how whatever the things you want to do, you have to find from the ChatGPT or any kind of the lot of AI is there. So it will help you to search how you will sustain, because you have to know that. Something like my age, I mean, put a new one. I cannot say like this. Okay. So like, or sir, senior sir, like that. Sir, बोले sir, अभी what? How should I learn that AI and ChatGPT? अभी मेरा क्या काम है? It's not like that. It's also a part of our life. So we have to know. That's also update good like AI ChatGPT. Otherwise, it's very difficult to write the research paper. Also, what are the research? Like those are the researchers, they know very well how to find this literature review. Particular, you know the very well. So how to find out this? Find this literature review is very tough in a research, right? Find the research gap. But you can use the AI very quickly. You will get within the 10 minutes. You will get the research gap and analysis of the systematic literature review. But there, it's not like that. आपने वहाँ से उठा दिया पूरा इसमें डाल दिया. It's not like that. It will help you. So like that, the sustain, how you will sustain and for your life and how you can adapt this AI and current technology. RP technology, AI, everybody. Now Gen AI has been. So what is the Gen AI? So Gen AI means your mindset, like your psychological things. They can understand. Consumer behavior, marketing की बहुत बातें करते हैं कल. I forget the name. Very nice song. I heard about it. आलू भी है मेरे पास.
प्रोफेसर सत्यनाथ महापात्र.
Sorry.
प्रोफेसर सत्यनाथ महापात्र.
Satyanath Mahapatra. Very nice guy. Okay. Good. Very good.
Satya sir.
Song. Really an interesting song. Very nicely voiced up. Very good. So like this, the marketing guys, we want to try to market this kind of the things. Maybe e-marketing or something like that, or off marketing. So it is not only the marketing, like another way also. If you want to use this AI and something like that, it's a very easy. Every area, marketing, like HR, finance, everything. Like people are saying like green finance. I'm not background of the finance, I'm not expert of the finance, but I did some research in the finance also. But how you get to? Because you have to know, you have to update it. आप बोलोगे कि सर बता रहे थे कल officer. So he is not a chartered accountant, or his background also not in the commerce. How we know the one check in what I can say, laser. Yeah, how to read? Within a quick 5 times, एक बार आप देख लिया तो पता चलेगा कि भाई whatever the laser is there, how to read this kind of thing. Because you have to update yourself always. So if you want to sustain, you can't say, I'm an engineer, I want to do the manager. भाई मैं भी engineer हूँ. उसके बाद तो professor बने ना. First engineer. So then you have to know the management also. Yesterday I said like that, और IT Kharagpur मुझे बता दिया गया कि चलो financial analytics पढ़ा. अरे भाई finance क्या है मुझे पता नहीं है. How I can teach the financial analytics? Analytics I know, technical I know, but I have to learn this kind of things. So what is the finance? How to do this kind of thing? What are the major ratios there? What are like important variables are there? How will they capture this value? See, everything you have to know like this. So if you want to sustain this, whatever the current things are there, you have to act. Thank you very much. इससे ज़्यादा time नहीं लूँगा. Sir also waiting. I am also getting late because I am always getting late. Sorry to, I apologize. This kind of thing. This my habit is like that. So everybody, somebody just like who said, I don't know, like early to bed, early to rise. No? It's a very good for health, but I am an exception for that. So right. So till now, my research is going to up to 3 o'clock. 3 बजे के पहले कभी सोता नहीं. ठीक है. और सुबह 9 बजे के पहले उठाता नहीं. So this kind of things are not now. It's a my technique started in the from the school time. So night में पढ़ना I am preparing that one. My college life also because all IITs you know the how they are reading style. भाई शाम को एकदम नहीं पढ़ना है. Guys for student advantage दे देता हूँ. You can use this one. आप भी सोचोगे कि कैसे क्या हो रहा है. When you go from the college in your hostel or home, that time evening time you are revising what sir ने बताया था क्या होता है. शाम को एकदम नहीं पढ़ना है. बिंदास रहो. कुछ games खेलो, something like do it if you want to read the book. Something mind fresh. Because already in the classes it's adjusted, multiple subjects, okay? But when you go from that like a college itself, evening time much more. Very urban suggestion is like what I am doing that I did this one. So you have to do like that free. किसी को अड्डा मारना है, किसी को घूमना है, किसी को थोड़ा भूखना है, जो भी करना है. But it's not good for health. don't do that much. But you can utilize that one, free your mind और movie देखो, जो भी देखो, games खेलो, like after take the dinner earlier, like अगर hostel में रहते हो तो 8 बजे के अंदर आपका dinner हो जाता होगा, so 8 बजे के अंदर dinner ले लो, then again half an hour you can take rest, थोड़ा move कर ले यहाँ पे, from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, only 3 hours daily, right? Daily 3 hours you can every day, not every कोई आज तो चलो बहुत टायर्ड हो गया आगे आप नहीं पढ़ेंगे कल देख लेंगे, no, not like this, every day. If you can give only 3 hours, 12 बजे तक तो पहले कोई सोता नहीं आजकल आप लोग, क्या करते हो? कंबल के नीचे टक 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 चलते रहते हैं, या young generation, you what I'm saying, yes or no? हाँ, so instead of that, if you want go but जो पढ़ाई हुआ है, like if you can go through that one within this 3 hours, तो बेहतर है. आप बोले पापा बोले मम्मी बोले बेटा तबीयत खराब हो जाएगा रात को जागो तो ये हो जाएगा ऐसे ही जागते रहते हो कंप्यूटर के अंदर से देखते रहते हो क्या लाइट बंद करते हो बट यू कैन स्पेंड दैट टाइम फॉर योर रीडिंग टाइम यू विल गेट अ लॉट ऑफ बेनिफिट इन दैट इंस्टेड ऑफ रीडिंग इट्स माय एक्सपीरियंस दैट्स व्हाई I was always I was a topper I did get 1 second right so due to this reason everybody can still now my research is going up to 3 o'clock everybody here knows my vice chancellor also know. Take a person I come learn because I know here like the biometric system has came when I came to Odisha. I have seen every colleges, every university. My university also safety biometrics. मैंने मुझे पहले तो बहुत दुख लगा था भाई क्या biometric देंगे सामने literate people है literate जैसे मानते हैं so very like but thing is that is a what kind of the discipline we have to maintain that but it was exceptional for me. Because I am coming 9:30 like class, I am not taking 9:30 classes. Always I am taking after 10:30 or 11 o'clock classes. IIT was a different. It's not like a bound. You have to come like 8 hours. You have to stay. Not like that. Whatever your classes is there, you can come up to 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 24/7. You can stay in the department often. No problem. Everything. Just depend on you. How. But यहाँ पे कुछ छूट देने के बाद when I was dean in the Sicily University, बोलना नहीं चाहिए उनके खाता हूँ Sicily University के. But problem is that I have seen some faculties सुबह आके थम दे देते हैं 9:30 बजे चले जाते हैं घूम जाके फिर 5:30 थम दे देते हैं. So what is the way to do that? आपने discipline बनाया किसी लिए इस टाइम में आए टाइम पे जाए, right? So that is also one kind of a sustain. How to sustain, right? You can try to correlate it that one. But very difficult. If you strict in the every kind of the things like faculty, you want to watch, भाई time पे आना है, time पे जाना है, काम कुछ नहीं करना है. It's good.
Not good.
और जब ही आना, जब ही मत जाओ, जो काम दिया आपको उसको करना है. आज करना है मतलब आज ही करना है. So that is good. That different philosophy, and this people are taking a different way. But my suggestion is like that. It should be given some freedom to faculties, and the faculty should take that kind of the thing because this, like Astha college is my college, not such college, it's my college. You have to think about it. I have to do something for this college. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then you will do something like that. Otherwise it's very difficult. किसी को convince करना, जोर करके बताना कि भाई you have to do, no, nothing. जब मन से नहीं आता है, तो nothing will be done. So something like that I am telling you what you have to think about in the night time. It's a very good thing you will get. But don't do like that me. He exceptional बोल जाओ. Early to bed, early to rise. Okay, thank you very much. So now we can start. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your armchair experiences with that very curious audience that we have with us today. And now I would like to welcome Assistant Professor Praveen Chandra Rao to come up on the stage and stick the badge to our Honorable Chair and track co-chair so that we can start the session. Can I also request Professor Rouse to hand the track chair and co-chair the evaluation sheet? Thank you. Okay. Over to you, ma'am.
technical session 2 of our international conference. Let me first pronounce the theme we are having for this session, that is fostering inclusivity and sustainability for people, planet and purpose. On this theme, we have many papers and many learned academicians sitting here with us who will be presenting their research to the forum. With kind permission from Chair and Co-Chair, we will begin. I will remind all paper presenters that the presentation time is 10 minutes, followed by 5 minutes of question answer by Honorable Chair and Co-Chair. So I request all paper presenters to kindly complete your presentation within the stipulated time. Our first presenter for the day is Professor Lipsita Mahanti, who will be presenting a paper on unlocking organizational growth, evaluating the HRD climate at Medicare University. Ma'am, I request you to thank you. Our co-authors, Dr. Kalyan Kumar Sahu and Arpia Mustaq, all three from Medicare University.
Good morning everyone. Today I will be presenting our research topic unlocking organizational growth through informed decision making and evaluation of the topic HRT climate at Medical University. This study exposed that HRT practices influence development and institutional success. This study was carried out by Dr. Professor Kalyan Kumar Sahu and Ms. Asya and myself Lipsita Mahanti. Let's begin by understanding the foundation of this study. HRT climate. HRT climate refers to overall environment in an organism that supports the development of its human resource. A positive HRT climate boosts motivation, learning, performance, whereas essential for every organizational success. Then we will discuss about the components of HRT climate. There are mainly three components of HRT climate, which are: first one is general climate, then HRT mechanism, and another one is octopus culture. Then inside the general climate, we will include that leadership style, support, and overall work environment in this. HRT mechanism. These are the system and practices in place of employees development, training, performance, and feedback. After that, we are talking about octopus. It stands for openness, confrontation, trust, autonomy, productivity, authenticity, and collaboration. Then going to the next slide, that is our HRT climate in India. HRT climate in India focusing on both the progress and the challenges. This key India is a collaboration with the NSDC aimed at improving employability, whereas education performs by through RUSA and Manipulation support higher education and training, teachers training. Despite this progress, India also faces significant challenges like skill gaps, especially in emerging areas like AI and automation. And HRT climate in education system. Then we will discuss about the HRT climate in educational institutions. Going ahead, I also like to throw light on HRT climate in Indian educational institutions. It creates a positive as well as negative influence on the faculty motivation and retention. And positive climate like supportive leadership, monitoring, autonomy, which creates positive influence, whereas some institutions having limited opportunities, hierarchical structure, which creates negative influences. Some of the educational institutional HRD practices are not in one size fit for all. They are dynamic and need to be prepared to the specific context of each institution. Whenever we focus on private institutions in Tier 2 cities facing these issues on living gap in understanding HRD. The most research are focused on central and metropolitan institutions. Then we will go to the literature review. Literature review. It refers to the employee's perception of organizational practice aimed at fostering growth, learning, and professional development. And the impact of employee retention productivity, it is informed that there is a strong relationship of HRD climate with the employee's retention, innovation, and productivity. Then we will discuss about influence on employee well-being. HRD climate and psychological capital gives positive HRD climate lead to enhancement of resilience and optimism due to supportive development of environment. During the COVID-19 pandemic situation, HRD climate influence also employees' mental health and moral and playing the critical role in maintaining the psychological well-being. Then we will go to the HRD climate challenges in private university. Private university unique challenges are obtaining of effective HRD climate, such as limited resources, lack of support, and difficulty in sustaining the development of focused environment. However, it has also been observed that philanthropic support and the adoption of needs program strategies can also help stabilize development investment in these institutions. To address these gaps, we formulated clear research objectives for this study. The first objective of my knowledge is impact of HRD climate. To determine the overall impact of the HRD climate institution development in medical university. Then another one is effectiveness of communication channels. To assess how often and effectively communication channels are within the organization. Faculty, then third one is our faculty perception. To evaluate how faculty members perceive various dimensions of HRD. Which factors affecting HRD climate? To identify key factors either enhance or enhance the HRD climate at the medical university. Then the last one is my knowledge, recommendation for improvement. To purpose practical recommendation for improving the HRD climate with the organization. After these objectives, for these objectives, I am using research design. I am using descriptive research design which follows a quantitative approach, which used to collect data from the respondent by using questionnaires. I have taken only the 50 faculty sample members consisting of 26 males and 24 females. And in the data collection and analysis, first sampling methods, we use the convenient sampling method selecting participants who are easily accessible. In survey instrument, the data was collected using the standardized HRD climate survey questionnaires containing 38 items. Gender distribution of sample improved. A nearly equal representation with 26 males and 24 females respondents. Then we will go to the data analysis and findings. First, related and internal consistency. The related of an instrument is confirmed with progress alpha or value exceeding 0.85, which indicates strong internal consistency. Then the general climate perception, respondent reports a high mean score of 3.92, suggesting positive perception of overall HRD climate. Then by October culture, the score of 3.89 reflects that the cultural values like openness, confidence, trust, autonomy, proactivity, and authenticity and collaboration are being effectively active. And by HRD mechanism, although the score was positive at 3.84, it suggests that are still areas of improvement in the HRD mechanism being practiced. Let us discuss the key perception regarding the HRD climate. express an overall flavor perception boost score of 3.8. Managerial support, the dimension received by the highest score in general climate category standing on at 3.9 to indicating strong support from the management. Need for improvement in trust and communication. There are lowest score in personal communication, highlighting the need to strengthen trust and interpersonal dialogues. Then, effectiveness of SRT mechanism. While recognition practices are seen as effective, trust-related gaps still remain pointing areas needing attention. And another one, empowerment of octava culture. A high score here reflects a healthy cultural environment promoting openness, autonomy, and collaboration. Whereas gender equality in SRT practices data shown on significant gender differences such as equal experience across genders. Interconnectedness of SRT dimensions is finding reveals strong positive correlations among various SRT dimensions, indicating a well-integrated SRT climate.
I request you to conclude in another 2 minutes.
Then we are going to supporting environment that indicate the positive perception of the SRT climate, showing that employees feel supported in their work environment by managers support effective recognition and environment from management where also highlighting the strong role of leadership promoting SRT practices by areas of improvement where there is a need enhancement trust and communication, especially in interpersonal and organizational interactions. Gender inclusivity defines stress is the importance of equity in development opportunities, confirming the value of inclusive SRT practices. Recommendation of SRT strategies the study suggests that guidelines for refining SRT strategies which can be effectively applied to similar institutions for improving their SRT climate. And as my conclusion, this findings leads a meaningful conclusion. The study concluded that Medical University has built a strong HRT environment that encourages growth to further enhance. This focus should be placed on.
Thank you. And we can get permission from.
Placed on building trust through better communication, strengthening formal development mechanism, and ensuring equity and inclusivity in all HRT. Thank you, and thank you, Astha School of Management.
Thank you, ma'am. Excellent presentation.
Okay, ma'am, only I have a question. So, whatever the sample size you have taken, that is only 50. So, is it acceptable, the only 50 sample size? How can you decide that sample size is 50? You have to take the 50. How you decide?
Actually, in medical university, there is so many chapters and so
Whatever extra you can do the research.
I have taken only 50 department and practice.
Do you know that what is the sample and sampling? Do you know? So how you can decide that how much sample size you have to take for your research? There is a sample calculation, the formula. You know that? Number of populations, then the number of like your what I can say like accuracy, how much percentage, 90% or 95%, 5% error, this kind of thing. Then you can calculate whatever the minimum sample size you have to take. So here, how much your population was there? Did you go through this calculation? I think. So that is what I'm thinking of. You're getting my point. So this is the first thing in the research when you are taking the primary data, then you have to go through this sample calculation. So how much sample size is? First. Second is like that. There are, you know that this formula, whatever the use or whatever the value, everything is there. Okay, first. Because 50 is, if anybody can see, easily they get that this is not an exercise. Don't take it that way, you know. Okay, you need a lot of effort. Because pilot test we are taking 30 to 40 days. Right? And in this analysis, whatever the objective, according to the objective, you are not taking any kind of hypothesis. Right? Directly objective you can do. That also acceptable. In the proof, what you need the correlation. What correlation you need? What correlation method you need? there is a correlation happening. Here's a correlation happening. And you are saying it's a strong correlation in the 3.89. Is it right? Totally wrong. Because the correlation will be, see, 0 to 1. Whatever the near to 0, this is the high correlation. If the near to the 0, this is less. Maybe negative and positive, that can be different things. But here 3.89 is a strong high correlation, not strong correlation, nothing correlation. If you go to the greater than 50%, then little bit correlation. Okay? So now you are studying. Because they see, research is like one kind of a frame thing. If you have suppose one example I can tell you. Sorry, sir, I'm taking just 5 minutes now. So one kind of, because I try to tell you, try to understand, when you do this research, any kind of research, if you want to try the like secondary data or primary data. So primary data you are taking, secondary data that is no better everything is right. And another thing you did mistake here, whatever the validity of the data, whatever your reliability of the data, you are not testing that one. From back alpha, KMO, you are not taking that one. That means, how can accept this one? So static, because whatever the, suppose you want to put, because let me sorry, I don't want to say like that. So when you want to put any kind of the like recipe, you are thinking about the ingredient. What kind of ingredient you are putting. If ingredient is two things. If ingredient is good, your process is good, then you are absolutely covered. If ingredient is good, the cook the shape is not good, then you are absolutely not. Right? If your shape is good, your ingredient is not good, then you are also you can good, but when you are choosing the ingredient, then you are. Okay? This is the first step you are doing. That's right. So, but always you can go to this kind of the statistical analysis, whatever is the research you want to do. First, you have to do sample and sample. Then the reliability. Then the validity. Then you have to think what kind of the statistical analysis you will do according to the you have to choose the right. Right? Thank you very much.
No, it's okay. What Dr. Nayak suggested, take it in good spirit. Okay. I'm also with Dr. Nayak. But I think she has done regular evidence and she has not told the correlation before. She told clearly it is the average, but she uttered high correlation. You are a teacher or a scholar? Okay, so you have to depend what Sar is telling or what I will be telling. You cannot answer. Listen. So sample size, fantastic thing. And I appreciate the structure of the structure. I think what I told, it's a lot. But if had I been there, you like you have depended. So I have taken this as a case, to develop it as a case. So if you are taking at one university, one department, large population, like here, maybe like hardly 30, 40 teachers will be there. So it can be told as a case study. Try to understand. What staff told is very important things. And technically includes it. And particularly the correlation part and supplementary is qualitative value. Star was getting that. And it's quantitative value. What type of correlation? It's not 0 to 1. What are the qualitative value? So that is the problem. All the best. Let's start.
So I hope these insights will not only help you, ma'am, but also all the researchers sitting here. Kindly heed to this advice. I think it will be a guideline for improving your research. Then we will move on to our next presenter, who is unfortunately not being able to join here physically, but he will be presenting online. We have with us Mr. Krishna Prasad Patnaik. I hope you are ready, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
The paper he will be presenting is HR Policy and Employee Retention, a bibliometric analysis and synthesis of Scopus data, 1994, to 2024. Sir, over to you.
Yes, ma'am, I am present. Sharing this.
Sir, I will also remind you that you have 10 minutes. After 8 minutes, I will notify to conclude in 2 minutes. And I also request Professor Jyotisman Dasma Batra to be ready for the next presentation.
And I already shared this.
Yes, it is visible, sir. If you can make it full screen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kindly make it full
Good
screen.
morning, everyone.
Please can you do this on full screen presentation mode?
Okay, sir. Is it visible, ma'am?
It is visible, sir, but it is not in full screen.
Okay, carry on, sir.
Ma'am, actually, this full screen is my.
It's okay, sir. You may kindly continue.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. It is a research work is a bibliometric analysis on HR policy and employee retention. The research work has been carried out jointly by Dr. Subhash Chandra and Dr. Madhav from my university, the State University. As our theme is inclusivity for future sustainability. Actually, sustainability of an organization, sustainability of an organization is highly dependent on its employees, besides other factors like our products, finance, etc. Employees are the most important part of an organization's growth. So, sustainability of an organization is highly dependent on its. For that reason, the retention of employees is a big issue which is to be a part of our research study. So the intention to stay of an employee is his readiness to continue with the present employer both physically and mentally. This is very important. Where employees they stay with the organization sometimes physically, sometimes mentally, but they should stay with the organization both physically and mentally. Then that will give a sustainability to the organizational growth. Now, for retention, so many HR policies are being opted, and it is more beneficial than recruiting new candidates because the organization has to spend a lot on their training, on their development, and also to make them job advanced. So HR policies significantly influence employee retention. So this research work has been carried out to check whether sufficient research studies has been done on organizational growth on HR policies and its impact on employee retention. So in this study, we have taken the Scopus database from 1994 to 2024. We have used the WOSPIR software and analysis. The research objectives are to analyze trends in HR policy and retention-oriented publication. We have to study the success level of retention studies in terms of publications and citations, and to identify the most used successful authors, organizations, journals, and countries in the field of research on employee retention, as well as to explore those citations, keyword occurrence, and research gains. In between the period 1994 to 2024, we have seen 435 Scopus paper, and we have taken eligibility as the subject area, and we have chosen English as the language. And when we screened in terms of subject area, we got total 242 articles, and in English language we got only 138 articles. And these 130 articles has been analyzed for this bibliometric analysis. In terms of methodology, we have used the database has been taken from Scopus only, and we have searched the journals, articles using the keywords HR policies and employee retention. At last, we have got 130 journal articles for final analysis, and while analyzing with Bosphere, we have taken into consideration bibliometric coupling, citations, co-citations, and keyword map. Now, when we get the year-wise publication data from 1994 to 2024, the can represent that we can find that from 1994 up to 2010, we have a very minimum number of publications. So before 2007, a very minimal publications are there. Now after 2010, though there is a steady growth in research in publishing research articles, but actually from 2018 onwards, the research has been increased and the number of journal articles has attained its peak in 2024. So now we can conclude from this, we can conclude that the research interest in HR and retention is growing significantly, which is very important in case of sustainability of the organization. Now, what we got from our research, bibliographic coupling, it is nothing but we said that when two publications cite the same documents with same subjects, then matching of these publications is called bibliographic coupling. Now we have from Bosphere software, we have got the bibliographic coupling and what the findings of this bibliographic coupling of our authors. We have verified bibliographic coupling to our authors as well as comments. In case of authors, we have found Anand Raman, then A.K. Paul and Stone. They are the noble contributors out of the 10. And A.K. Anand Raman, he is from Malaysia, A.K. Paul is from India, and Stephen Stone is from US. But the most vital thing is that there is only one Indian author, Mr. A.K. Paul, in the top 10 list. This shows that lack of research work in the field of Indian authors. So we have to enhance our research work in this field. In case of bibliographic coupling, we have researched this with countries, and we have found though India is in the second position, but the number of the edge index is 858, which is very much less as compared to other nations like United Nations, Australia, Canada, etc. So what we have got from the analysis is that India leads though in number of documents, there is 20, but it has lower average citations. So number of research work in India has increased significantly, but in terms of quality, we think we have to improve a little bit. In the US and Australia dominate both in terms of quality and impact. And in terms of total citations, we have found that India is in second position, but on average citations, we are at 8th position from among the 10 with a very lower edge index. So this indicates that the more publication has been done in the state of research, yet in terms of quality, we are lagging behind. So more qualitative research is to be done in this field. Coming to citation analysis for authors, we have got five top authors who have got more citations, and out of this, we have only Madam Jyotsna Bhatnagar, whose citation score is 104, still, which is not satisfactory, and only one Indian, only 2 Indians are there.
Sir, I request you to finally
David Allen and yes, ma'am, yes, I'm not. David Allen and Philip Grant have the top analysis, with 407 citations each, and Ms. Jyotsna is the only Indian author in the top citation list. So coming to the conclusion, you can say though the rise in research has been found in from post 2020 2018, we are lagging behind in terms of quality. So India needs qualitative improvement in HR retention studies and more frequent. We have in this case we have used keywords like retention and HR policies only, And but we have found that more research has been done on employee on job satisfaction and retention also. Then coming to our limitations and features, so we have analyzed on focus database, whereas other databases like Web of Science or Google Scholar may be used for future research, and we have used Postgres software, but tools like VideoSign or R can be used for advanced bibliometric research. These are some references. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patnaik. So that is a traditional topic with a modern approach. Sir, sir, can we again go back to the slide?
Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. One thing I want to that this is a qualitative research you have doing. So, how, what, basically why you are choosing the visual? Why not other software? What is the justification?
Sir, actually, I'm a research scholar and my topic is employee retention and
I understood.
HR policy, significant of HR policy. So I want to know that how much research has been carried away in this field and what are the topics.
No, my question is that there are a lot of qualitative analysis software is there. Why you have chosen those ways? There are a lot of qualitative research software is there, right? So why you have chosen those ways? What is the result?
Sir, actually I am comfortable with this. This is my first paper, sir, so
What is the advantage of this software? Hello? Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What is the advantage? Because you did Roswell and this bibliometric analysis, but you are not showing us the graph, whatever the connected, the co-pilot, and like whatever the citations is that networking graph also you have to present. So that it will be easier for us, so that we can see, okay, you did this kind of the analysis and later whatever the like whatever thing, how we can justify the job sustainability and job retention without showing this graph.
The visual representations are also important.
Sir, actually graphs, I presented it in the paper, given it in the paper, presented in the paper. Sir, I think due to time constraint, I have not.
Not like when the graph is was there, it is directly the graph will become automatically. If you are taking the whatever the articles you have taken, you have arranged the articles and you put this article related to the work.
Yes, sir, graphs are there.
Then automatically the graph will come the networking graph. So if without seeing this networking graph, it's very difficult to prove how like sustainable and retention in the job.
Sir, actually it is not there in the PPT, but in the graph in the paper.
Okay. Anyway. Thank you. Thank you. This work is good, but you have to know in the next time when you will present or when you will thesis you will write. So that time definitely the graph you have to present, right?
As a research scholar, when you are starting your research career, I think this advice will be very valuable.
Mr. Patnaik and the other panelists, I agree with my colleague Dr. Nayak, who had very good observation. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
If you recall, I think one of your major findings is that in India, the publications originating from India, they are not high quality and citation is very less, and we have to improve.
Sir.
Is it a great finding if you ask to yourself that in India research happens and the citations are not there? So the objective should be more focused and what other future leaders, future scholars would benefit from your finding should be something like tangible, something like concrete. It's not we are not having good quality paper here in India and it should be improved. So what Dr. Nayak was suggesting, you have to be more focused and you have to beat. I think you can work. Are you getting me?
Maybe a different style of presenting the facts.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patnaik, for your presentation. Thank you, sir, for your comments. So now may I request Professor Jyotisman Das Mahapatra to be the next presenter. The paper he is presenting is Driving Impulse Buying through Emotional and Brand Connection in social commerce, a sustainability-oriented perspective. All the best, sir. You may add to it later.
A very good morning to all of you, respected chair and co-chair, honorable dignitaries of dais, lovely students, research scholars, a very welcome to good grand welcome to all of you. Today I'm going to present this particular topic on the research, that is driving impulse buying through emotional and brand connection in social commerce, a sustainability oriented perspective. Before diving into the next slide, let me just give you some insight about this particular topic. Social commerce is a trending topic nowadays. If you just look on to today's scenario, now everyone is using the social media platforms, like you are using Facebook, Instagrams, YouTube. So these are popular social media platforms used basically or popularly in India. Apart from that, we're also using different e-commerce platforms, like if I name it, Flipkart, Amazon, if you can talk about Meesho and all these things. These are the popular platforms basically, we use it. So this is, the social commerce is a virtual, the connection between social media and the e-commerce. So taking into this consideration, impulse buying is another interesting topic actually, it has been covered in this particular research. Impulse buying basically whenever we don't have any pre-plan to purchase any product, but when I'm looking on to certain advertisements, some stimulus arises and ultimately we purchase immediately without thinking a next thought. So that's how we can talk about, or we can say it's an impulse buying. And how it is being affected emotionally, and some brand connectivity also is playing a vital role in the social commerce platforms. The companies are doing all this marketing strategy so that the customers will be getting motivated and ultimately they will be purchasing the products. So can I just move on to the next slide, please? Oh, okay. It's not working. Can you just... Yeah. This is my content part. I'm covering all this particular content in this research presentation. So this is my introductions, objective of studies and all. Okay, I'll come to the introduction part. So as you know that consumer engagement, nowadays we all are engaged in social media platforms, and I think many students are there and they might also be involved in social media right now also. Simultaneously you are listening to the presenter as well as you are also using the social media platform. Yes or no? I think most of you will say yes. So this is how this consumer engagement, it's the design of the platform is such that we don't get time to think of something else, we just engage in the social media platforms. So this is what consumer engagement, the software is like that, so they're trying to connect with the customers so that we scroll on day long and we don't get also demotivated, or sometimes we get enthusiastic to see what other things is coming out. This is how I was talking about this social media platforms, like if you talk about Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, then are the real-time personalized interactions that build social brand connections. If we talk about this emotional and visual triggers, this is very, very interesting. If you look on to this influential marketing, like a lot of YouTubers or a lot of the celebrities, they are now using this their brand privilege or brand personality to, if you can talk about this influential marketing. Visual content, that's how different content, you might be reading about digital marketing, different content like posters, if you can say about this infographics or this animated GIFs and all these things, they're using it to make it attractive so that customers will be using it in a very prominent way. And this is what I was talking about impulse buying, like short form content. Nowadays, this era is going on about these reels, short stories, live streams. It's creating a tendency and nudging users towards quick and unplanned buying decisions. So this is how the importance of brand connections or engagement, if you can look on, this consumers form lasting bonds with brands that align with their values and respond authentically boosting this online impulse buying. Can you switch on to the next slide, please? Yeah. Yeah, this is what a picture in the presentation to make you more clarify about this, how the social commerce works. So you can see here, although the picture is a bit hazy, this is a Facebook platform where you might be scrolling and you might be getting some notification from this e-commerce platform, and at the end there might be some shop now, call now, explore now, this sort of annotation they're going to give it so that we get some sort of urgency get created on us and be able to purchase this product. So this is some examples I've given it to make you more better clarification. These are the objectives, like after doing rigorous literature review, and these are the objectives I find out. To study the social network promptness and emotional nuances towards impulse buying behavior in digital environments. Objectives 2 is to investigate the influence of emotional response on impulse buying decisions in the context of social commerce platforms. Objective 3 is to examine the moderating role of social network promptness in intensifying the relationship between external stimuli, that is visual and interactive content, and consumers' emotional reactions. And this is the objective 4, to analyze the impact of visual stimuli and interactive content on consumer emotions and the subsequent impulse buying intention in digital and social commerce setting. So this objective can relate with this particular model. This is a model actually. If you can look onto this particular research framework, all the objectives related to this. And accordingly, we have taken the hypothesis, the first hypothesis, and these are the alternative hypothesis to prove it and taken it. So H1, there is alternative hypothesis 1. Social commerce marketing activities and stimulus have a positive effect on emotional engagement among the consumers. Hypothesis 2 says about emotional engagement positively influence consumer impulse buying behavior. Hypothesis 3 says about brand attachment mediates the relationship between social commerce marketing activities and impulse buying behavior. Hypothesis 4 says about social network promptness positively moderates the relationship between emotional engagement and impulse buying behavior. And hypothesis 5 says about social network promptness positively moderates the relationship between brand attachment and impulse buying behavior. So now if you look at the research methodology, this is purely a quantitative research approach, and this approach has taken on SOR framework. It's a very popular framework on impulse buying. There is stimulus, organism, and response model. The research design is completely a descriptive research design. That means the research has been already conducted. Some other researchers have done it. I have only just added some inputs of mine with some other variables I have taken it. Sampling techniques is purposive or judgmental sampling, looking onto my convenience, because all the softwares basically nowadays are online softwares. I collected the data from them as well. Sample size is 600 because as I calculated, there is a formula called Bill Gordon formula. When there is infinite population, 364 data can be taken into consideration because there is a formula. Actually, I have written in my research, I have also cited in the research paper, the research article, and it is 364 for infinite population. So, for better, I have taken it 600 responded because in another research it will say that when you are applying SCM, 500 data would be the most prominent one. So, to be in the safer side, I have taken 600 responded data. It is a primary data was collected from structured online questionnaires using a 5-pointer Likert scales to measure constructs such as emotional response, brand resonance, and impulse buying. Smart PLS 4.0 was used for structured equation modeling. This is the data analysis part. Basically, if you look on, I have taken the reliability test, and on these you can see the converge alpha. It says that above 0.75 or 7. If it is there, then it is quite reliable. The study is, we can proceed with the study. And composite reliability, if you look on, that it is.
Sir, I will remind you of the time. Kindly complete.
Thank you, ma'am. So average life expectancy is all about the 0.503 solve, confirms validity for each construct. It's more than half of the variance in each construct is explained by specific features. And converge alpha values are above 0.7, reinforcing internal consistency across the constructs. This is the conclusion from the structured equation modeling path coefficient. I have not put the representation, the model representation here due to this restriction on the slide. So this is the hypothesis actually what I have taken. Only one hypothesis was not supported, the alternative hypothesis. There is social network provenance moderates emotional engagement or impulse buying behavior, because here you can see the p value is greater than 0.05. That's why it is not been supported. The pass coefficient is always 0.42, but P value is 0.066, which is greater than 0.05, which is that's why it is not been supported. So now if you look at the finding and discussions, the high path coefficient for social commerce marketing activities, emotional engagement, underscore the power of visual engaging and interactive content in generating the emotional responses. Emotional engagement shows a path coefficient of 0.52 with impulse buying behavior, highlighting that consumers are more likely to act on impulse buying when they experience positive emotions triggered by social commerce content. It can be visual content, it can be animated GIFs and all these things. Brand attachment has a strong impact on impulse buying, indicating that the attachment to a brand can lower consumer resistance to unplanned purchases. Social network progress was found to significantly moderate the relationship between emotional engagement and impulse buying, and between brand attachment and impulse buying, that is 0.30. Now, if you look at the conclusion part, it's extended the SOR, that is stimulus organism response framework, by integrating the emotional engagement, brand attachment, and social network prominence into impulse buying behavior, emotional engaging content. And like as I can give an example of like Cadbury uses, like Coca-Cola uses, these are the emotional engaging content, and strong brand attachment significantly influences impulse buying in social commerce environment. So this is some retailer managerial implications. Retailer can design effective campaigns by focusing on emotional engagement and community building to boost the brand resonance and loyalty. Some future scope will recall like recommended future research on cross-cultural dynamics and AI-driven personalization to enhance the digital marketing effectiveness.
Thank you.
So
Thank
these
you,
are the
sir.
references, and thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. When I connect this to our team, people, planet, and purpose, I think the people sitting back there, young students, they can relate it to the most. Sir, any questions for the president?
Yeah, it's a good day. So are you a research scholar or faculty?
I'm faculty at Civil
Good. So I said the process is okay. So the process is going through. It's very nice. I mean, research structure also good. But only one thing I have observed here. What about the hypothesis? Can you go to the hypothesis slide? Yeah, hypothesis. Okay. Whatever the hypothesis I have observed here, whatever you have written, yes, suppose you can say take like a hypothesis one. Social commerce marketing activity have a positive effect on the emotional engagement. Already you know that it would be positive effect.
Yes, sir. Actually, some other research.
What is the need for the research?
I need to validate it. That's the reason actually.
No, whatever the term you are writing, the term is a little bit
modification is
required. You can say like this is the marketing activity have a significant
effect.
Exactly. Not directly positive. You can say the directly positive effect is there, but you know.
Yes.
Already positive there. So what is the need of the research?
Yes, sir.
Right. All kind of the hypothesis is written like this. You can say it's a direct.
Yeah.
So that is already decided, you know. This is the positive.
Again,
this is the negative. Okay. This thing. Second thing, whatever the SM you did, whatever the value you are showing is good, but you have to show the whatever the SM's model you did, the model which you want.
Sir, actually, I have in my research article, I have already said there, but due to some restriction in the research slide, actually, there is some restriction from the management side, so that's why I have not used this model.
Because whatever we have to see,
Yes,
what
yes, yes, there is a research
how many
article.
variable we have taken, what kind of the variable, what kind of effect is made. So
Yes, sir, even if also I have
SMs.
written the question about, the question of where I have taken it, and also given the reference on that.
So your Broadway campus came also very nice, more than 80% is there. How many total variable you have taken?
Sir, these are all the variables, sir.
How many? Not total, how many? Don't count.
25, sir.
What
25.
no.
Yes, I have.
Total how many?
25, sir.
25. So 25 variable you have taken.
Yes.
So did you go through this factor analysis?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So how many variables is accepted? Within the 25?
Most probably, sir, 20 has been expected. More than 20, sir.
More than 20 or 20. You have to know.
Yes, sir, I've done it, sir. Actually, it's very static, but not recalling it, sir.
Then polylinearity, because more than 25 variables, you have to go through the polylinearity.
Multicollinearity.
Multicollinearity.
Yes.
So how many multicollinearity you are reading?
That I have not also done it, sir. Actually.
This is a very important thing.
Yes,
You have to
yes.
know the multicollinearity also.
Sure.
And separately, what you did, like your variable, the factor analysis, total factor you have taken once, or hypothesis wise factor you have taken?
So, sir,
The factor analysis?
so for factor analysis,
That also you are not showing here. The factor analysis.
Yeah.
Those are important.
Sir, I have taken confirmatory factor analysis. That is C effect. Confirmatory factor analysis. There is two type of factor
Same, it's
analysis.
a good confirmatory.
Yes.
So what is the like, because we have to know that this kind of the factor analysis, how many is rejected, how many is accepted, which one is significant and not significant.
Yeah.
Then it will be correlated also, right? Okay, you can note down these points.
Sure, definitely.
Like that. Overall, this is good. Thank you.
This one, thanks for coming to Astha.
Thank you, sir.
We have long way to go in future.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What sir suggested are valid points, and you should know what you have done.
Exactly.
Very, just supposed to be like while presenting, it should be clear like what you are doing, why you are doing, how you are doing, how you are doing. And even the hypothesis what sir has very correctly observed, like what is the justification? So that's the supported part. So there is a gap whatever. So that you could have presented in this slide. I know you are having this is gap. Why you are doing this? Reinventing the wheel. Okay, so all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Happy to see you here.
Thank you, Professor Napata. So next we have with us another online presenter, Professor Sonali Priyadarshini. I hope you are ready, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
The paper she will be presenting is study on employee engagement on turnover retention in private banks in Odisha. A managerial decision making. Serial number 4, sir. The previous one by Professor Jyotisman Dasmapatra is serial number 5. So,
Good morning, everyone. All the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, and my fellow participant and the students who were sitting there. I'm very sorry that I could not be present physically due to some personal issue, and for that I'm really sorry. And hope my presentation is visible, ma'am.
I request the technical team to.
Shall I start with the presentation, ma'am?
Just a minute, madam.
Give us 1 second.
We could not see. Just. Okay.
Is my presentation visible, ma'am?
It is
visible. Yeah, visible. It is very small.
if it is, it could be
Can
there.
be visible.
I'm Sonali Priyadarshini. I'm a research scholar of the university, and my topic of research is study of employee engagement on turnover retention in private banks of Odisha, a managerial decision making. And for this research paper, my co-authors are Dr. Sumitra Murmu, Assistant Professor of the University, and Professor Dr. Vijay Kumar Sundarai, Professor of the University, Bhubaneswar. So going to starting with the introduction, ma'am. Ma'am, basically my topic is my research is on the private banking sector. So as we all know that banking sector is the backbone of national growth. So I have taken private banking sector as my research topic. I have done research on private banking sector, as banking sector helps in it drives capital formation, it support infrastructure and industrial growth. It brings all the citizens together for the economic development of the region, and it also enhances the financial inclusivity. So for that, banking sector the system of banking sector should be robust enough so that each and everyone could contribute to the enhancement of the national growth. So, talking about the private sector, banking sector, basically it is a human resource driven. So the entire entire focus is on human resource. So the real retention and real managing human resource, training human resource, and retaining human resource is a matter of concern. So when we talk about retention of human resource, it is the intention of human resource. When we talk about retention, we talk about the turnover intention of human resource. The turnover intention is basically a conscious decision of the employee leaving the organization. So if the employee are leaving organization or their attrition rate is more, as suggested by your RBI, if there are around 25% of attrition happens in private sector bank, and even there are more attrition rate in many other banks, banks of private sector. So we have to look into this. We need to look into it because this is a very important factor, because there is loss of skill talent, and the brand image is disturbed, the team dynamic is disturbed, there is delay in customer delivery, and the cost of the organization also increases due to the increase in recruitment and training cost, and the growth also stops. The growth also is impacted, you can see. So for that, I have taken Odisha as my place of research, because here in Odisha, the more and more companies, they are coming to Odisha, and NBCs, they are also coming to Odisha for business, and this private sector banks, they are having a tough competition. These employees are basically switching over to these organizations. And private sector are also trying to be very much competitive. They are trying to get into, they are trying to penetrate into the ruralmost area. So it is also giving opportunities to employees to move to switch over, as well as the work pressure of private sector banks is also very high, which is again forcing the employees to move to different, other sectors. So for that, Odisha, I have taken Odisha at my study, and here we can see that banking sector, they need to understand what all strategies they need to make so that they could retain the employees, and for which employee engagement carries a vital role.
Madam, can you move forward? You are in introduction.
Sorry?
Can you move forward? Go to objective.
Okay. Okay, sir. Sir, like my objective is, first objective is to examine the association of demographic variable as age, gender, education, experience, job position, and marital status on workers' turnover intention within the private banks in Odisha, and the second objective is on employee turnover in private banks in Odisha. So for this objective, I have taken two hypotheses. The first hypothesis is there is a significant association between demographic variables and employee turnover intention in private banks, and the second hypothesis is employee engagement has a negative effect on employee turnover intention in private banks of Odisha. So the methods and tools which I have used, the first one is talking about the research design. It is a quantitative research design, and data which I have collected. I have collected data in a structural questionnaire method, where I have collected demographic data, employee engagement. There are 10 questions of employee engagement and 10 questions of turnover intention. Clarifying the various factors which are included in employee engagement. So the response which I have collected, it is in a 5-point Likert scale, and I have taken sample size of 120, and basically I have taken the banks like ICICI Bank, HDFC, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Axis Bank, and IndusInd Bank, and both online as well as offline data are collected, and the tools which I have used is descriptive statistics, correlation analysis, ANOVA, and multiple regression analysis pattern. And So the result, coming to the result, for my hypothesis one, first I have tried to understand the age factor. Like you can see that the age between 30 to 50, the age group of employees, they are more in 30 to 50. As that means the mid-career professional are more. So manager needs to understand the expectation of this mid-career professional, and they need to design the strategy, engagement strategy, so that it could support the mid-career professional, like career progression, work-life balance, autonomy, or we can say advanced training, through performance incentive. So these are the few things which the manager needs to understand before designing the engagement strategy. Then coming to gender, you can see the male, they have a dominant, there is a clear male dominance in private banking sector, because it is around 68.3% and the female is 31.7%. So gender equity needs to be taken care of, and the engagement strategy should be made so that it could cater both male and female expectations. Then coming to work.
I will request you to conclude in another 2 minutes.
Okay, so directly I go to the ANOVA table, where I have all the factors are given. So in the ANOVA table, we can see that age, experience, job position, and education, they have a significant relationship on the employee turnover. So these and gender and marital status, they do not significantly impact the turnover. So while designing the strategy or engagement strategy, these demographic factors needs to be taken care of. And for hypothesis 2, I have done a reliability test where the Cronbach alpha is 0.620. That means there is a, we can say it is a minimum acceptable level of internal consistency, and the reliability scale is also moderately reliable, and we could there's some improvement could be done so that the consistency could increase. And the model summary, R value is 0.364. That means there indicates a moderate correlation between employee engagement and turnover intention. And R is 13.3%. That means turnover 13.3% of variance of turnover, it is explained by employee engagement. And adjusted R also confirmed that there is a modest but meaningful relationship between employee engagement and turnover intention. In the second table, ANOVA table, we can see that the F is 18.058 and P value is also less than 0.001, which say that there is a statistical significant relationship between employee engagement and turnover intention. Then coming to the T value, it is minus 249, and the P value is also less than 0.001, which we can say that there is a significant relationship between employee engagement and turnover intention. And talking about the beta value, that is minus 719, which says that each unit increase of employee engagement decreases turnover intention in 0.719 unit, and the standardized beta is also 0.364 minus 0.364, which indicates that there is a moderate negative effect on turnover intention. And the conclusion is, while designing the employee engagement strategies, age, education, experience, and job position needs to be taken care of. So these are the groups which needs to be given utmost importance. And as the environment is very dynamic, So we can say that the employee involvement also should increase so that the turnover or the attrition rate will decrease, and there would be a sustainable or long-term stability in the workforce. And
Okay, thank you, ma'am. As we are running short of time, I will request you to conclude.
So now the employee, as I said, like the involvement should be prioritized so that the turnover will be lower as well as the competitiveness and the sustainable development of the organization would improve.
Okay, okay, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, overall, it's I can understand because it's very difficult to read your slide. It's not visible
much
properly,
information,
not properly. And my question is that whatever the like data you have taken, basically we both of could not I don't know audience can read or not. So it's a very difficult to read your slide. So okay, anyway, you have to choose like a private sector banks. Yes?
Yes, sir.
You have chosen the private sector banks.
Yes, sir.
How many banks you have chosen? How many banks you have chosen?
Sir, I have taken topmost, 5 topmost bank according to the employee strength, number of branches and market cap.
Okay. Then total how many like your sample size you have taken?
Sir, I have taken 120 sample size.
So did you go through this sampling calculation?
Sir, actually, sampling this is my research topic, also my PhD topic. So for that, I'll be taking around 600 sample size. But here, sir,
How you have decided 600 sample size is required?
Sir, like the minimum sample size should be 364 according.
Who said? 364. Who said?
Sir, according to the.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir,
According to the?
according to the infinite population, sir, because the population we cannot.
That is not. No. You justify that. Justification is there. You have to defend. So why 600? Why 120? Why not 200? Why not 1000? How will decide? Whatever the sample size is required for your research. Very basic question.
Yes, sir.
So how will you decide? What you have to do? What are the mechanism?
Sorry, sir.
Very simple. Sample calculation. Sampling calculation formula, you know the sampling calculation formula?
Yes, sir.
Then you can say, have you gone through that formula?
Sorry, sir.
Have you gone through that formula? Calculation, sample calculation? Sample and sampling.
Yes, sir.
You know that the difference is sample and sampling. How many, you see, when you decide any kind of the research, is the very basic things. When you are going for the primary data, you have to think about the your sample. So how will you decide how many sample is required? So according to like that, you have to go through this calculation, you have to decide. Whatever the your population, then whatever the accuracy. You know how much accuracy you have taken? Whatever how much is the error? How much? 80%, 60%, 70%, 90%, 99%. How much accuracy you want? So according to that, you have to calculate the sample. Okay?
Yes.
Then you did the question here. Next.
Yes, sir.
According to the research gap, your objective, whatever hypothesis you have stated, the two hypotheses you have taken. So according to those two hypotheses, so like how many questions you have presented?
Sir, I have taken demographic question as well as I have taken 10 questions from employee engagement and 10 from turnover indection.
So only demographic question, can you correlate it, that it should be written or not?
No, sir, actually I am having 7 variables which will justify employee engagement. So in each variables I have taken 7 questions.
Okay,
but
okay.
here,
Just a minute, listen. So 7 or 8, whatever the variable you have taken. So have you gone through that variable factor analysis?
The factor analysis, no sir, I have not done yet.
You not did the sample calculation, you are not going to the data validation also you are not detecting. Data validation and data reliability. Have you gone through that one?
Yes. Yes.
KMO?
KMO I have done.
Okay, fine. At least data validity you have checked. So
Yes.
after that, what are the more factors? Then you have to go for the factor analysis also. Then how many factors will be accepted, how many factors will be not significant? You have to check that one. Then after that, you have to do your analysis. So what kind of the ANOVA, what of the software you are using? And you did ANOVA, no?
Sir, at SPSS.
SPSS, okay. Fine. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. So next presenter we have with us is Mr. Tanmay Kumar Pattai. His paper is Role of Artificial Intelligence for Skill Development, Inclusive Growth and Sustainability of E-Governance. Tanmay sir, are you ready? I believe the paper is also co-authored by Professor Dr. Magdalene Nexel. Tanmay sir, are you ready? Yes, sir. The next presenter will be Mrs. Vicky Mohanty. Ma'am, you will be next. Do we have the next presenter? Sir, I request you to kindly conclude your presentation in 10 minutes. After 8 minutes, I will notify. I will give you a reminder.
Respected sir and ma'am, good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, can you make the PPT full screen? Thank you, sir. You may start.
So myself, Tanmay Kumar Pattai, I am doing my PhD in governance and faculty of management study at Sri University, Cuttack, under the guidance of Professor Dr. Magdalene Nexel. So my topic of presentation is role of AI in skill development and inclusive growth and sustainability of e-governance. So before starting the presentation, I will tell something about the e-governance. So e-governance is basically a hot topic nowadays after the implementation of Digital India. So government is promoting under the umbrella of Digital India for the country. Lot of research projects already been implemented. But now when emerging technology came into picture, there is a lot of discussion going on how we can embed this emerging technology in the area of e-governance. So AI is one of the emerging technology, apart from other emerging technology like blockchain, other things. So many state governments, central government are implementing AI in transferring the public administration to make it proactive. So now, to increase or enhance the efficiency and transparency of public service system, AI nowadays is being promoted. It not only e-governance can be promoted, we can promote skill the students, employees, drive inclusive growth, and also ensure e-governance sustainability. So here AI gives us an unprecedented opportunity for personalized learning of the student community, employee community and common citizen, which will support continuous professional growth. So nowadays you must have heard central government has issued a guideline. Every department in the government could be have a designated AI officer. So what happens? The employee or future employee has to be skilled enough so that they can use the AI into their day-to-day office work. So our focus is leveraging AI to build the human capital, that is capacity building of the department, and which will ensure efficient governance. That's why nowadays AI will be equal as a key driver of technological innovation, socio-economic transformation, not only in our country but across the globe. So, what do we expect? AI for skill development. AI platform can be used for personalized learning path, which are do predictive analysis, we can use for tutor chatbot, round the clock support to the citizen. It can help us to reduce the digital divide that is between rural and urban people. Nowadays, many people want access to the e-governance application to local language, to language translation that can be used. Also, it can promote policy making. Regarding sustainable e-governance, it can ensure transparency and accountability, proactive service delivery, smart infrastructure and resource sharing. So, after going through a lot of literature study and case study, I found out many research gaps, like limited experimental data and case studies, based on how AI is being integrated into skilling initiative, measure inclusive growth in the context of AI deployment, and how the AI will play its role in the interconnected government sectors. So I have found out these major three objectives. Upon analyzing all the role of AI in driving skill development, inclusive growth, and sustainability of e-governance. The specific objective what I found out to identify the impact of AI and skill development, evaluate how AI contributes to inclusive growth, to demonstrate the role of AI in enhancing sustainability and efficiency of e-governance. The methodology I have used, that is based on primary and secondary data. Primary data, I have done the survey through questionnaires, through interview to the general citizens, departmental officer of the state government, and the secondary data I have collected from various government sources, central government, state government sources, like their portal, odisha.gov, digitalindia.gov, Niti Aayog websites, and also various international database like UNDP, World Bank, UNESCO, OECD, and also a lot of literature, journals, newspapers, also industry consultant like PwC, McKinsey, KPMG, Gartner, all these things. So the conceptual model I have used, which will act as a catalyst across three domains, based on skill development, sustainability of e-governance, and interconnected outcome into the effective governance transformation. So here, AI will act as a tool in skill development, inclusive growth, sustainable investments. Ultimately, it will lead to the outcome and impact. The core component of this model are AI tools, like lot of AI tools we are using NLP, chatbot, other things are mediating variable, like variable which you can use, which can impact the outcome. The outcome would be empower workforce, reduce inequality between urban and rural people, efficient public service delivery, long-term policy resilience. Then it will have combined impact on skill development, inclusive growth, and sustainability of e-governance. this model I have used the quantitative study and qualitative study. The quantitative study using the data set to measure variable like AI access, learning participation, citizen satisfaction. I have collected all this data through questionnaires, and the qualitative study I use the AI initiative in various sectors like education, health, agriculture, primarily. I have used very primary sector. I have used how today AI initiative has come across various departments. So after collecting all this data, I validate the data, analyze it, then got the output. The output we have get it through linear regression, right? AI adoption, using AI adoption, there is a combined impact on the skill development, inclusive growth, and sustainability of e-governance. So the graph shows there is a linear regression analysis between the AI adoption index and the combined impact on the skill development, inclusive growth, and sustainability of e-governance. So left hand in the graph shows the best fit regression line. It indicates positive relationship between the AI adoption and the combined impact on the skill development, inclusive growth, and sustainability of e-governance. There are 98.8%.
Requesting him to conclude in 2 minutes.
What I found out from my analysis is that AI acts as a powerful enabler of human-centered governance. AI can significantly contribute, enhancing personalized and scalable skill development, promoting inclusive growth and social equity, ensuring sustainable and transparent governance. But after all this analysis, there are my solutions. We have to redesign and or modify the existing design of the government frameworks. Okay, we will do some government process re-engineering and equitable access to AI tools and infrastructures. All the community, whether it is rural or urban, literate or illiterate, all of them should have equitable access to AI tools and the digital infrastructure. Also, there should be ongoing monitoring tool for ethical privacy and social impacts, because when AI will come into picture, there will be a lot of discussion. So for all this analysis, I have referenced many files, journal, case studies, some of which I have mentioned here.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So
we have learned about the impact of all different aspects of AI in these 2 days, but its use in e-governance is something new, I think. Sir,
good observation. Mr. Patnaik, are we audible? Can you hear me? The topic you have chosen is really of contemporary relevance. It's a very interesting topic, and it's heartening that you have kicked off with a stalwart, and we should expect something good, concrete output. But to me, as a layman, what it looks is a very elementary kind of thing what you have done. Something like what you have identified yourself in the research gap, that the literature lack experimental research, where you are taking like impact study. So maybe like you can plan a design like experimental research. If you are doing something in one sector, specific to a particular field, we can like observe how AI is really impacting. So that is possible through better experimental research. And my second observation is like how you really abruptly jump to linear regression model. Like it's a such a complex area, like you cannot have like a bivariate linear model. So it's a very such a complex kind of thing. Say economic development of a country, like say happiness, which depends on so many intrinsic factors. So it should be like non-linear, multivariate, you can think of. I think you may consider, I don't know whether you have really consulted your guide. You are lucky to have a really very strong guide. Maybe you can revisit the methodology, objective, and this can be developed for the fantastic development. I suggest it can be best done through experiments. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Sir, would you ask any questions? And thank you, Mr. Tanmay Kumar Patnaik, sir.
Thank you,
So
sir.
next,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. We may have a big round of applause for the presenter also. So next presenter is
Thank you.
Mohan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am is presenting on blockchain-informed resource management for socially inclusive and sustainable innovation contribution in Industry 5.0. So we are moving to a different kind of modern research. I mean, if you are ready to start. Still no 7. Tanmay Kumar Patnaik was 6.
दोन दो कर दो
May I request the technical team to take care of displaying the PPT. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, one and all present here. I am Dr. Vijay Mahanti, Associate Professor at ASBM University in School of Information Systems. I've got this opportunity to talk about a very new informed way of understanding Industry 5.0. But the topic of my paper is blockchain informed resource management for socially inclusive and sustainable innovation in Industry 5.0. As we all know, unlike Industry 4.0, the Industry 4.0 emphasis are focused on automation and optimization. Very loud. So, in Industry 5.0, it basically emphasizes on human-centric design and socially inclusive resource management, where innovations can take in a different way ahead. So, as we know, Industry 5.0 emphasis on human-centric. It also has sort of disadvantage of depth of decentralized community support. It has to have a framework where it integrates cognition, geography, culture, and equity. So, the objective of this particular presentation is to develop a framework called MAIVA, where MAIVA stands for Multiple Scale, Adaptive, Incentive, Validation Architecture. This particular module will address the gap in equity, cultural integration, and decentralized validation in current innovation pipeline. It has a particular dynamic and adaptive incentivization of community-driven innovation. The material and methodology is simple. The multi-scale adaptive incentive validation architecture that actually has 5 interconnected components. First is CTPE, that is cognitive token provenances encoding for principal innovation lineage. Second is DIVE, that is dynamic incentive gradient engine for adaptive incentivization. Then we have trusted weighted multi-signature validation for decentralized and trustworthy validation. Then we have FEME, that is fractal equity mapping engine for equitable token distribution. Then we have SITM, that is symbolic inclusion tokenization model for cultural representation work via semantic NFT. Now, many of you will ask what is NFT? NFT in the terms of blockchain is nothing but non-fungible tokens. These are the, we can say in an example that it is like a digital certificate for any particular resource that we can represent in the form of sustainable innovation ideas or designs that new generations are coming up. Now, if you see, we have methodology through 4 processes over here, where we have collected data from 3 underserved regions, and from here we have dynamics and validation. Along with that, we have also analyzed using spatial quality, using fractal dimension metrics, and traditional systems are being basically tokenize the knowledge through semantic ontology. And I would like to emphasis on this proposed model of MAIVA, where we can see there are like interconnections between innovation summation, cognitive token creation, participation analysis, geospatial assessment, token distribution, then cultural symbolization, token symbolization, then we have an audit law over there. This result and discussion from here can analyze over here. We have taken 3 particular papers like from method, paper number 3, the reference is given.
Am I allowed to interrupt?
Yes, sir.
Can I go back to the slide?
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by underserved? Is it like unserved or underserved region?
Regions which are not actually taken into account.
Not served.
That is not city based, basically regions which are smaller like towns.
It could be like better word, unserved.
Unserved.
Underserved region.
Unserved, basically. We can change that word with unserved. So this is here the particular analysis that we have done in the terms of qualitative measures. But in qualitative measure we have taken 6 measures. One is token generation latency, then contribution latency rate, then validation throughput, then we have equity participation index, then we have cultural token engagement rate, and the last one is innovation reuse traceability. In this, we have compared the proposed method with the 3 methods which is given in different reference, that is 3rd, 8th and 15. Of course, in my reference, I have not given the 15th number reference now, but in the paper it is there. Because it is going to exceed the slides, that is why I have not given that. So as you can see from the 3 of the methods, the last method, that is the proposed method, that is MAIVA, it takes less time in the token generation latency. Because as Industry 5.0 only believes in less latency, so we have actually tried to make it lesser than the other methods still mentioned in 3rd, 8th and 15. And that as well you can see every other parameters or metrics you can say that the proposed method has proved better and it has surpassed the other methods. These are the significant outlines that you can say in key metrics and performances, where MAIVA has achieved 0.87 outperforming other models, where retention rate is also given high to 72.6%, having validation throughput as 18.2 decisions per day, surpassing others. Equity and management, as you can Gini coefficient improved from 0.68 to 0.41. As we know, Gini coefficient, if it is 0 means it is having the equality maintained, and as the degree of the 1 to 0 lessens, accordingly the Gini coefficient gets better result. Accordingly, cultural token engagement is 62% engagement, almost double of the competitors that we have. Then insights over here can be written as technical robustness and socio-cultural inclusivity, and validates the active and decentralized structure of the MAIVA framework. As I have come very quickly to the conclusion suggestions, I would like to go for the conclusions first and then go for the suggestions. When in conclusion, MAIVA has given a pioneering blockchain framework that it actually is for main human-centric decisions, social inclusiveness, and sustainable innovations, and it demonstrates the superior performance in token generation, retention, validation, equity participation, and cultural engagement. Along with that, we also integrate decentralized governance, which is the point where blockchain comes in action, and adaptive incentivization and cultural representation effectively, which is why human touch is very, very important in the era of blockchain and artificial intelligence. When we go for the suggestion point, the expansion, that is MAIVA's integration with global blockchain ecosystem should be there. We should have more scalability over there. Explore cross-chain compatibility for improved token portability and liquidity. Along with that, conduct longitudinal study in diverse socio-economic regions for deeper insights. and enhances semantic and NFT ontologies for multilingual and cross-domain application. These are my references. These are only restricted till 10 references. I have actually 15 references in my paper. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation. So we were hearing on the aspect of resource management. Some questions.
So, thank you. It's very nice. Okay. So, my question is very simple question. The Gini coefficient, it can be increased more or not? It can be increased. Whatever the model you have taken.
Yes.
So, whatever, this is the highest.
There is a scope to increase.
That's an asking. So, it can be processed like because next your target you will be because the gaining coefficient will be as much as possible, it will be higher, then it will be better, right? So next thing is like that. So what of the blockchain concept? How you have related it and such?
So simply, sir, blockchain means we need to decentralize the whole process.
Right.
When we talk about equal opportunity and sustainability, it should be decentralized. So blockchain plays a pivotal role in
Blockchain, everybody knows this is decentralized, communal keys are there, everything. But how we can relate it to this like your research and sustainability?
Basically, sir, when people concerned with cultural differences are there and their innovative ideas are there are discriminations that happens. So to bring them into a particular chamber, we need to put them into a area where they are individually thinking and they are also contributing at the same time. So contributing is validated or it is not validated. On that performer, the whole research.
How we can measure? That is my question. Now you are coming to this point. So when you collected this people's kind of how we can measure this one? What are your benchmark?
So basically, the submission is recorded according to the what can you say, sir? I am not able to speak. Maybe the standards have to be maintained over there.
That standard, I want to know what standard you have to measure because this is the some benchmark should be there and it can be measured according to what kind of the mechanism you have. Because certain mechanism is not existing. Or you can use the GenI, then it will be, you will get that such kind of the mechanism. But without GenI, but you are using the blockchain technology. But GenI is a different. So how we can do it? Very tedious. Data collection, you have to be ready here. Then it will be there. Otherwise, it will be very tedious job. So nowadays, people are saying you work at 50 baja kaam aa raha hai, right? So why you will go for this old model like this, like tedious model? So your model should be a little bit, I don't know, but it's my suggestion can be hybrid both with us, GenI with us. Then it will get the better, right? So it's my suggestion. Maybe the research, whatever will come, nobody knows because this is the concept. Yeah.
Very valuable insight for your future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's have a round of applause for Professor Ricky Mohanty. Next one, I hope you will be clapping louder because we have our beloved Professor Dr. Prafulla Kumar Parikar. He is presenting the research paper. Thank you again. I understand you are very enthusiastic. Thank you. The paper he is presenting is Fostering Inclusivity for Global Sustainability, Integrating Climate Risk, Disclosure and Artificial Intelligence Towards Local Resilience. So I think he is focusing on the planet work. Sir, over to you.
Today I am going to present and represent a piece of my work in progress of research. When I saw this topic, International Conference on Fostering Inclusivity for Future Sustainability, Global Perspective and Local Access. All of a sudden, I didn't find anything to do anything. And I remembered my authors. I read the authors, Philip Kotler, Then I went to a book, Task, Responsibility and Management, written by Dr. Peter and Trucker. And somehow I could able to connect to Carol Abbey in Connect. She is alive right now. And how could I come to my topic that was challenge for me? All of a sudden I went to my thesis where I pointed few points of sustainability and inclusivity in relation to FDG and SDG. Then I got a light, let's work on it. Still it was difficult for me to confirm the research on a piece of work. And I found there are 8 targets or goals of MDG, then 17 targets and goals of SDG. It's a big topic. And one challenge with me, how shall I complete the research within 2 months? Is it possible? And it was a challenge for me. Okay. And I connected a point which I can take into my consideration. Education, primary education for all. This point is globally with local. It is connected to my area, physical area where I am studying. Again, I thought whether should I go for any sort of research work? Not. What is my objective? Am I looking forward for publication or what? And all of a sudden I connected to the people in this area. I found in primary school around 20 to 30% there is attendance, and in the evening I went to many primary school teachers. I found they have 2 houses in between 2017 to 2024, in between 6 to 7 years, they have entered 2 very good flats in this area. What a magic! But it was not in my cup of tea to study. Then, to sum up my work, I have come to this point.
Requesting the technical team to work on the link.
These points I remember is for humanity of human atrocities, very cruel treatment of somebody, something. T for true war, terrorism, climate change and local issues. When I could not got anything, I connected with the recent news and started my research.
Wait,
Years of
wait,
ago till
from the chair.
2025.
Sir, can you move on to the research?
How I started, that's why I am going, sir, within 1 minute. Years of ago till 25, and then after, abandonment, emotional feelings of left behind, insecure and discard for living. Being a part of International Conference on Fostering Inclusivity for Future Sustainability, Global Perspective and Local Action. On topic, I am going to present on topic Fostering Inclusivity for Global Sustainability, Integrating Climate Risk Disclosure and Artificial Intelligence towards Local Resilience. I, Dr. Prabhu Kumar Padi, Associate Professor Marketing, Astha School of Management, Boston, sir. Fostering inclusivity, what I found,
Dr. Padi,
you
have already taken around 5 minutes. You have not come to objective.
Okay, sir.
Come to objective, not the picture.
My objective to identify the MDGs and SDGs goals, targets and achievement, to study the climate risk disclosure, to study the role of AI towards local resilience. In theoretical background, all MDG and SDG goals are studied. However, many global and local issues are added during this period. And the climate issues are detrimental in many cases. The major threat to social and environmental sustainability, whereas I got few literatures that the Great Barrier Reef, it will be vanished within 2 decades. Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt. Already research gap and objective you have found. Okay. So after the objective, no need to go to the research gap. Okay. Don't do that. So the flow is like that. Already research gap you have found out, and you did that objective. According to the objective, did you prove any hypothesis or directly you can prove?
No,
this?
sir.
Directly you can prove with the objective.
Because
that you can show us that.
Yes, sir.
No need to whatever the background of the study and everything. It's not that.
these are the basic threats to globe, and some of the climate issues are not addressed well in MDG SDGs. The climate actions make urgent effort to combat climate change and its effects. And sir, from different sources of literature, what I found, climate action abstract, life below water abstract, life on land abstract. But a beautiful thing I found, these are the data got from climate risk, GRI report, United Nations Environment Program report, Equator Principles, and WTO report and SDI index. Secondary data, as per the secondary data through the sources, I got this result. Eradication extreme hunger, highly insignificant, 100% it is not achieved. Achieve universal primary education, less significant because it rose 91% to 83%. Likely, I have not got any significant resilience of local, although it is given by many literatures that ensure environmental sustainability is highly significant. But I have not got the reality in local, so that I did this piece of work and also my research. And how can AI, how can the AI will help in building resilience, local resilience, that AI can give result to predict future disasters. AI help in environmental, agricultural assessment, and AI also help to predict future threats to globe in terms of the global and climatic risk. With this note, I end up my piece of work as a research. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. That is an interesting perspective on climate and sustainability. Questions?
Whatever my observation, see, this is like whatever your emotion, whatever the things you are doing that research, it's okay, it is a different thing. So according to the paper, whatever you want to do in the paper, I am not getting any kind of whatever your objective of a separate time to come to the. So when you research here, you are getting the objective. How is it? We are saying the highly correlated, highly this is like
Sir, through all the, it is written in the SDG.
What is your contribution? What is your contribution?
Sir, this is a piece of work of literature review. Till now, I have not gone to the field work where I will collect the data in locally, so that my research has not been completed.
It's not a kind of research. Already, this kind of thing is already in the literature review of someone that secondary data already there. So you are taking from it. Then what is your contribution? After taking this data, after collecting this information, what do you need?
So my contribution is that there is less and no study of local climatic change.
That is the one kind of a find gap.
Huh.
That is the one kind of a gap you found.
That I found.
For that gap, what you want to do? What is your thought process?
Then I will go for primary data collection.
So you
Go
will
for
not need anything here.
no sir. I have not done the primary research.
Okay.
This is one of my piece of work to endeavor my research. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Just you have started, not yet completed. Thank you very much.
Abhibabu, you are a senior teacher.
Yes.
I think, what should I say? The title, the last line, you read to yourself. Lot of grammatical mistake. Make it acceptable. There is no like lean, sick. I don't know why you are using local hatya.
Sir, we cannot deny the Kashmir file. We cannot deny the Pulwama case. We cannot deny Pahalgam case. Is not a part of hatya. Is not a part of inclusivity and sustainability of our society.
But what is your conclusion?
My conclusion is that if AI will be implemented in each and every field,
So Pahalgam is not there if there is a.
sir, if these all type of climatic change is done by all sort of
What do you
work,
understand by climatic change?
the change in mind, change in thought,
Climate change. What is the meaning?
the change in the all sort of climate means your
No. I am not mixing of many things. That's what I traditional people focus. Take a small piece, a pinpointed object, right? Then you can think of. That's what Star was directly. You are a senior colleague of ours. Okay. Thank you.
I agree, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the suggestions. I think that would like to get for you. Thank you, sir. So our next presenter is Ms. Subhasri Pradhan. She is presenting a research paper on optimizing sustainable waste solutions for Odisha, a comparative EW analysis of current practices. Ma'am, I request you to kindly take the stage. After this, the next presentation will be by Ms. Subhasri Pradhan. This is Subhasri Pradhan and Professor D.K. Mann.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected chairperson, co-chairperson, esteemed faculty members, and fellow participants. I am Subhasri Pradhan, a research scholar from Sambalpur University. Today, I will be presenting my research title, Optimizing Sustainable Waste Solutions for Odisha, a comparative EWS analysis of current practices. These are my contents. So, coming to the introduction part, so just imagine, every day the people of Odisha generate enough waste to fill the whole lining of Puri's coastline daily. That is 3,500 metric tons per day. So, according to the report of Central Pollution Control Board 2023, only 60% of this waste is collected and less than 15% is treated properly. So, rest of it goes into landfill, which leads to various health issues. Yet, hidden in this challenge lies an extraordinary opportunity, that is to transform waste into wealth, pollution into prosperity, and progress into sustainable solutions. So this research is just not just an academic exercise, it is a call to action. Across the world, from Japan to Sweden, cities like Surat, Singapore, Indore have turned their waste crisis into success stories. So these examples highlight a powerful blend of global perspective and local action. So the significance of the study is that we use the waste source method in waste management area, that is for the first time in Odisha, to compare 5 waste practices based on 6 key factors, that is cost, environment, policy fit, scalability, operational efficiency, which directly supports Odisha's 2025 plastic free goals and UN Sustainable Cities Target SDG 11. So these are some of the literature studies. So the research gap here is that most of the studies focus on the metro cities, and the methodological limitations are there is no application of waste source method that is more consistent for waste decisions. Then the policies often designed in the top-down approach, missing ground level data from municipal workers. So the objectives are to compare waste management practices in Odisha using waste source method, to rank practices based on environmental, economical, social and operational criteria, to identify the most sustainable and efficient solutions for Odisha's waste management system, to provide actionable recommendations for policymakers and stakeholders. So, in the research methodology, we first began with 3 months of field surveys across 13 ULBs, quantifying that 68% of the municipal waste reaches landfills and only 11% undergoes formal recycling. Then, from 50 plus global studies and 60 plus literature review, we identified 6 evaluation pillars specifically adopted for Odisha. After that, 11 domain experts, including waste management officials and experienced academicians, gave their priority ratings. Then we applied the waste source method, a multi-criteria decision making for calculating the weights of each factor to check the accuracy. After that, we tested for consistency. Finally, we ranked the best options and gave policy suggestions. So these are the alternatives and criteria with the literature support. That is, the alternatives are the door-to-door collection, community bin collection, decentralized composting, material recovery facilities, and land filling. And the criteria are the environmental sustainability, cost effectiveness, social accessibility, operational efficiency, scalability, policy and regulatory support. So these are the tables of the data analysis with the collective scores and ranking of each criteria and alternative. Then these are the objective-wise findings. That is the comparison of current practices using waste source method. We choose 5 practices, that is door-to-door collection, composting, community bin, material recovery facility and land filling. Then we rank it accordingly. Then the most sustainable solution for Odisha, that is the door-to-door collection with composting for maximum sustainability. Then material recovery facilities can also be an option for recyclables, that is plastic, paper and metals, but it needs more cost subsidies for wider adoption. But the worst solution must be the land filling that should be phased out urgently, that involves high pollution risk. So the recommendations will be to implement the door-to-door collection system statewide, train SHGs for segregated collection instead of one-level composting, then to develop over-bundle composting system for rural areas with color-coded bins plus penalty for mixing waste, then to minimize landfill reliance due to its poor performance score. Then the strengthen policy enforcement, launch public education campaigns to address community concerns, then begin with pilot programs in the selected cities before expanding it to the successful models. So the limitations are that we have not taken account of climate vulnerabilities and the scalability cost projections must be there. So to sum up, study, Odisha's waste challenges can be solved by combining strong policies, community involvement, and smart technology. By scaling up the proven methods, we can protect the environment, improve public health, and build a sustainable future for Odisha. These are some of the references. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think that this is so far the most practical paper we have that we all need to implement.
Right. One thing, you can go to that, like your objective. Yeah. So first, your first objective is like compared to current waste management.
Yes.
Go to the next slide. Yes, that. Okay. So here is a methodology what is saying the first thing.
There is the problem identification.
Without finding the problem, identifying, how can compare? What compare? Next slide objective. Yeah.
So this topic is a part of my PhD topic. So
I understood your topic, but when you are going to the objective, first you have to study, or you have to explore something, or you have to identify something, then you can go for the analysis. Then you can last.
So we have identifier that understanding.
Objective is like that, na? How directly you can go to the compare, then you are practically on the rank of a practice based, then you are identifying again. The terminology is like that, the flow is like that. First you have to explore some variable, whatever the variable is required for your research. Getting up, according to your research gap, whatever the your conceptual model you can do or not. Without conceptual model also you can do. But objective when you are deciding that first you have to do, you have to study, or you have to explore, or you have to identify the variables. What kind of the variables you are taking? How you are getting this variables? Without identifying, without exploring?
Sir, I have mentioned that I have conducted interviews and structured questionnaires.
Support is there, but what kind of the variable you have to take to justify your research? What kind of variable, what kind of the criteria you have to take in?
Sir, I have taken 6 criteria for
How you
comparison.
decided this six criteria is the right?
Sir, I have conducted interviews also. There are literature
That's the
support.
later part. First you have decided 6 criteria you have taken one.
No, sir, first we have decided 15 criteria. Then we have opted out for these 6
That
only.
criteria, how we are getting?
So from literature studies, then secondary data is available.
That is called or that is called the flow, or that is called the identity.
I have done that.
So you have to first you have to do both of the study, but this research and then you can identify the research gaps, whatever the variable is required. Then you can go for the analysis or something. Then you can compare or you can demonstrate. It's not the flow of the object. You have to write according to. But directly you are going to the comparison itself.
I believe what you were suggesting is you can add one more objective.
Right.
Identify the variables.
Identify the variables or explore the variables, then examine the variables, then you can go for the comparison. Compare with the last bit. Compare.
I have answered in paper that I have identified, but not enough.
You have come earlier from Sambalpur.
Yes, sir.
Devendra Malik is your guide.
Yes, sir.
Say my hello to Devendra. Go to class line. Next. Next. Okay. Don't feel bad if I take you as a scholar. Like why you are giving double quote in first line?
So that must be the first initial question that I
Why
need.
you are not listening? What sir was asking, you are listening less, you are not listening. I am getting the spirit of my question. What is the meaning, the relevance of double quote? When you are quoting somebody, you should give double quote. So why you are quoting this? Double quote is required or not required? Don't answer. You introspect, try to think and answer to yourself last. Last line. How you got to 20?
So from the secondary data
Secondary data is from where? Namaskar?
No, sir, CPCB report.
Should we give the source?
Yes.
Is it for Sambalpur? Is it for Bhubaneswar? Is it for Rano?
It is for.
Is it for 1947? Is it for 2000? Who will believe that all health-related crisis hazards, entire Odisha will cost only 200? Okay, I know there was a lot statistics. Whenever quoting something, there has to be the citation and year. Maybe it could be like 2010 data, 2020 data, okay? Say, can you guess, you are a scholar, try to listen. Last, we suffered more from COVID. Okay? Is it something like a virus, whatever? Can you imagine this? What would have been the total cost only for one disease? So when you are doing this, you have to be very specific. Okay? Go to the last slide. So you recheck, read as a student and a scholar, what I'm submitting, requesting, there is always scope for improvement. Okay? Hold on. Policy drives success. How do you jump to conclusion? Okay, don't answer. You ask yourself. This question you are asking to yourself. As a scholar, think, introspect. Do I have analysis study on this? Is it my own conclusion? Why should I write this? Okay? So every statement as a researcher, if it is a research paper, you should think very carefully. Don't answer. Okay? You ask yourself similar question. How you are controlling this? Have you really evaluated all the policies related to this? Have you experimented kind of things? Are you concluding that yes, it has remained the success? Okay? So all statement was the best product.
Thank you for your valuable comments, sir. I think sir's comment will not only improve the quality but also the research that you have already done, you can present it better. But it was a very valuable statement. Thank you. Let's have a round of applause for Ms. Subhashri Pradhan. Well done. Next we have with us Ms. Subhashri Pradhan. I will be presenting on sustainable marketing strategies in fashion apparel, unpacking consumer behavior and perception of eco-friendly brands. So another paper we have that is focusing on the planet.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected lecturer and coaches. I'm lucky to have Astha School of Management that I'm presenting on this topic. I feel we all crave for a climate positive world and all save our planet, right? But the climate change is already in progress. It cannot be stopped. But we have the possibility to interfere and take certain factors as a driver and advance sustainability. That I feel. So here my topic, sustainable marketing strategies in fashion apparel, unpacking consumer behavior and perception of eco-friendly brands. So I have developed this paper with help of my co-writer Dr. Sujit Kumar Patra, who is due to some pre-occupancy is not able to present over here. So basically from the literature review, certain objectives and key findings we have taken and find the research gap like this. Despite increasing awareness of sustainable fashion, a gap persists between positive consumer attitude and actual purchase behavior. Prior research often isolate marketing or psychological factors, neglecting their combined effort on decision making. Basically, in this paper, we have tried to get a relationship between sustainable marketing strategies, consumer perception. Here, sustainable marketing strategy is we have taken as independent variable and other things as dependent variable. Right? It can be reversed also. Here our research objectives and hypothesis goes like this. Research objectives are to examine the influence of sustainable marketing strategies on consumer perception and their behavioral intention toward purchasing eco-friendly fashion apparel. To investigate the role of psychological factors and socio-demographic characteristics in shaping consumer decision making towards eco-friendly fashion brands. And research hypothesis, two hypotheses we have taken. First one is sustainable marketing strategies have a significant positive impact on consumer perception and behavioral intention towards purchasing eco-friendly fashion apparel. Second hypothesis, psychological factors and socio-demographic variables significantly influence consumer decision making when choosing eco-friendly fashion brands. We will connect try to correlate the objective and hypothesis later on. We have taken Cronbach's alpha model and methodology here we have chosen. Research design we have taken a quantitative research design was employed. Data collection, basically primary data was gathered through questionnaire method and 250 respondents were selected and 5-point Likert scale from a scaling technique we have taken from 1 to 5, which is strongly agree to, strongly disagree to, strongly agree, to assess the response, ensuring response consistency. And reliability testing, we have taken Cronbach alpha due to test the internal consistency of the scales and the reliability of the data that we have gathered. Statistical tools and analysis, we have taken descriptive statistical summarized demographic data and other key variables, and correlation analysis and regression analysis were applied to test the hypothesis. And the first one is here, that is we found that in Cronbach alpha value, that is Cronbach alpha 799, and the Cronbach alpha based on significant, that is 0.797. Number of items we have taken 8, number of items that has been taken from the questionnaire. The factors that I am aware of sustainable marketing efforts for fashion brands, brands that promote their sustainability influence, and transfer and marketing about eco-friendly practices, green marketing campaigns. I believe these are all these items are in the questionnaire we have taken from that. And from the analysis, Cronbach alpha value is 0.799, including a high level of reliability among the 8 items. That is reliability among the items and acceptable for further analysis. We have analyzed from the whole analysis. And the mean value that we have, mean value of all items range between 3.28 to 3.97, and it's moderately positive response across variables. And analysis and interpretation objective 1 and hypothesis 1, that is the relation we are trying to show. Correlation analysis has been taken, regression analysis, and from all these things we have concluded that there is a strong relationship between those factors. And this has been the whole interpretation that we have taken. The multiple linear regression analysis reveals a statistically significant positive relationship between sustainable marketing strategies and consumer perception and behavioral intention. From the Cronbach analysis and the whole analysis, it has been derived. There is something I am speaking for now. And objective 2 and hypothesis 2 has been correlated. Again, the reliability statistics that has been taken, descriptive statistics have been taken from that the items has been 8 items has been taken from same questionnaire. And the whole analysis has been done, and it has been and from the objective 2 and hypothesis 2, it is clear that multiple linear regression analysis examines the influence of social demographic values and purchase decision making on psychological factors related to sustainable fashion. And the whole from the whole analysis is that the key finding it investigates the impact of sustainable marketing strategies on consumer perception and behavioral intention, while also examining the influence of psychological and social demographic factors of eco-friendly fashion decisions. Reliability analysis confirms the internal consistency of the questionnaire for which we have taken Cronbach alpha. Descriptive statistics from moderate to high awareness and positive perception of sustainable marketing, with respondents expressing intent to purchase eco-friendly apparel. Correlation analysis supported hypothesis 1 and revealing a significant positive relationship between sustainable marketing and sustainable marketing strategies and behavioral intention. The sustainable marketing strategy definitely impacts the behavioral intention of the consumer. Maybe through it we can change the perception and behavior of consumer. And we have whole analysis has been done through the SPSS software. In conclusion, the study explored the impact of sustainable marketing strategies on consumer perception and behavioral intention in the fashion industry, while also examining the influence of psychological and social demographic factors on eco-friendly purchase decisions. And we will go to the next second point, that sustainable marketing significantly shapes positive consumer perception and increases the intention to purchase environmentally friendly fashion apparel. And psychological factors such as environmental anxiety and personal values strongly influence buying behavior, highlighting the role of ethical and emotional motivation. Demographic variables, age, gender, income, and education also affected decisions, underscoring the need to tailor sustainable marketing to different consumer segments. That's all. So basically, we are trying to coordinate the relationship between sustainable marketing strategies on consumer perception and behavioral innovation. It can impact, strategies can impact their perception also.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation.
If you can go a little bit, right, like your articulate hypothesis. Yeah. Prove that your, this is not, I know. Okay, the Cronbach alpha you have kept a reliability test. Why not you did that validity test? Reliability is enough. Validity also required. Why not came? Came test also required. Point. Second is like each factor, what I will say is that the variables, 3-4 variables. Go to that in your ANOVA test. Yeah. Here I can see it is like ANOVA is for hypothesis 1 or 2?
This is for hypothesis 1.
1, okay. But you have not written that I am confused. Okay. So you have to write the demonstrated hypothesis. So, one thing I have seen, how many variables you have taken for the hypothesis 1?
So that is 8 variables.
8 variables. And after list is how that DF, degree of freedom, how it will be 1? Because the DF will become n minus 1. If your variable is 8, that means it should belong 7. That's something wrong here in your analysis. Very simple. That is wrong analysis. Your answer also wrong. Because whatever the variable you are saying, the 8 variable you have taken. Did you got gone through that factor analysis? No. Okay. I may give that. So 8 factor you have taken. So when 8 factor you have taken, how many is the dependent variable and independent variable in that? 8 factors. How many are dependent variable and how many are independent variable? Because this is the one way ANOVA or multiple way ANOVA? One way ANOVA. So one way one is one dependent variable, one independent variable. So which one is your dependent variable, which one is your independent variable? How many 8 variables you have taken? Being a faculty, you have to know. When this is starting this process, it's okay, it can be explained. But you are a faculty. Because this is the basic thing you have to learn.
Clearly mentioned there, na? You will see. When you tell, na?
Dependent variable CPP, C1, C2, C3, C4 is written like that. Na? So which one is a dependent variable? You can include when you want to know. When I am asking this one. And this analysis must be something wrong because your degree of freedom is 1. Because you are right variable here.
So sorry to actually she is not able to.
Are you able to understand my question? Then tell me why the degree of freedom is 1. One independent variable, one dependent variable is taken because of operator the variables you have to take as average. Then what we do next to if it will be true, then n minus 1 will be 1. You did this one, but you can try to explain it. Yeah, you have to depend. It's good. That's why I'm asking you, na? So you have to depend.
But data collection, everything I was doing, but the analysis part was nothing.
Okay, analysis part is okay. Trying to understand?
Yeah.
No, it is not.
You can answer this
Good.
question.
Yeah. And another thing I have observed here, where you are the conclusion you are going to that. So you have to demonstrate that whatever the hypothesis is accepted, based on what kind of the things you are getting. Right? Alternative hypothesis or basically alternate hypothesis accepted. So if alternative hypothesis is accepted means what kind of the things you are getting? What is the that also you have to explain. That is not required. Fine. And go to the conclusion, last part. Last slide. Now, yeah. The whole demographic, this kind of the variables you have taken, how you can justify how you have taken this hypothesis with this demographic variable. How you can analyze this one in a demographic variable to prove this hypothesis? You did, but explain it. How to do it in this one?
That is a very strict evaluator.
Everybody is what they are doing. So demographic data they are taking and doing some graph. Again, is like this, but that's not right. So there is basically just to how to do this demographic like gain point or data point. How to do that? Right. Thank you very much.
With this, we can open the discussion even better.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Can you
Yes.
justify the point number 3? Go to conclusion point number 3. Please go to point number 3. Have you studied the anxiety and emotional factors in the study? Go to your question. I think you will not nowhere mention the anxiety, emotional. What we are concluding is saying that your anxiety, emotional. No, literature it was different. What is study? Conclusion means the conclusion from your work.
Actually, Sachin, I am saying that basically whatever your objective, but whatever the hypothesis you are taken, the conclusion is different. You are not matching with that. Yeah, that is correlated. Whatever the objective he is saying, whatever the hypothesis you have taken, but your conclusion is saying in a different. That's right. Because this anxiety, this environmental anxiety, this kind of the things variable you have not taken. You have not analyzed. So how can you conclude this one? That a big deal. Okay.
Then how to select your sample size 250?
250 is a random. You have to take it to 50.
No, why 250? Why not 350, 400? You know the formula of the sample size Z minus sigma square by E that means
That is the formula for that, but I yes, I have formula. That is
What was your calculation? So whatever the accuracy, whatever the error, 5% error, 500
Then last question, what is the limitation of your study?
Thank you, ma'am. In future research, you can add. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. From your insight, we are also learning many things. And special thanks to Professor Dr. Sachinandan Mahatri, sir, from the IIM University. Thank you for your insights. So we come to the last presentation of technical session 2 by again one very special faculty from Sri Sri University, who is also closely associated with us. Dr. Preetidara Gupta. Ma'am is presenting on evaluating sustainable strategy, a comprehensive approach towards selected steel industries in Odisha. The stage is yours.
Thank you. So, all the esteemed dignitaries from the dais, all my co-presenters and my beloved students. At the outset, this is Dr. Preetidara Gupta presenting my research paper that evaluating sustainable strategy, a comprehensive approach towards some selective steel industry of Odisha. So it's my immense pleasure that I am standing before you and presenting something like evaluating something sustainable strategy. As we are all running out of time, I will not take much of your time. So all during all the presentation, I am just listening about the sustainable strategy and the sustainability. So what is all about the sustainability? Sustainability, the word means that using resources in an efficient and effective way so that it can be maintained for a longer period of time. And the sustainable strategy is always a comprehensive and long-term approach that organizations should use to balance its activities with social, economic and environmental sustainable goals. So the time has passed in which we can say that only the product differentiation and cost minimization is the only strategy to get competitive in the market. Nowadays, the organization, basically the steel industry. So yesterday we are listening from the executive vice president of your General Steel. He was telling about that the steel industry are the most polluting industry. So only thinking about the product differentiation and cost minimization should not be the only strategy to sustain in the market, to become the market leader. To become the market leader in the long run, the organization or the company have to think about how to sustain, how it should minimize the environmental impact, how it should be economically viable, and how it should be socially impactful for the society also. As a socially responsible citizen in the environment or in the society. For that reason, we have chosen this subject that evaluating sustainable strategy, a comprehensive approach towards selected steel industry in the Odisha. So basically, we can say that what is the reason for selecting this steel industry? Next slide, please. So this is the outline of my presentation. The introduction, background of the study, the literature review, the theoretical framework, the research gap, the conceptual model, objective and hypothesis, methodology, data analysis, finding, and conclusion. Basically in India, so why we have chosen
sustainability. A sustainable strategy in this domain encompasses the environmental responsibility, social inclusiveness, and long-term economic value. The study basically focuses on evaluating the sustainable strategy with selected steel industries, which aims to balance the environmental, social, and economic goals. The background of this study tells about that among the heavy industries, the steel sector stands out as both a major economic driver and a significant contributor to environmental degradation. As per the World Steel Association 2021, steel production accounts for nearly 7 to 9% of global
Even please state this one, good objective. The reading paper.
So this is the theoretical framework which supports my study. Basically, the triple bottom line theory and the resource-based theory which support my study. So the triple bottom line theory says about the foundational theory sustainability studies, emphasizing that companies must not focus only on profit maximization, but it should focus on people, that is social, and the planet, that is environment. So this is the research gap we have found with the thorough literature review. For our study, we have reviewed 35 relevant literature. After that, we have found out this research gap. So this is the conceptual model. So basically, this conceptual model is having three parts. First part is the key enablers, and the second part is the core components, and the third part is performance measures, and it all goes to measure the sustainable strategy of selected steel industries or goals. So the key enablers include the policy support, the technology and innovation, the collaboration and partnership. So the first key enabler, that is policy support, is all about it provides the inputs and support, that how much government and other policy supports are there, so that the organization or the company can be environmentally sustainable, and it has to meet the environmental compliances, economic compliances, and social compliances. So, and also the technology and innovation, it also how much technologically it is advanced and innovation it is doing, so that it can be economically viable and it can sustain the environment to decrease the environmental impact, and also it can serve the society. And collaboration partnership on a level, it provides the input and support to collaborate with some NGOs and other government organizations, so that it can help the community and develop the NGO to health and safety of the community and make the stakeholder engagement. So my core components are there. These are my independent variables also, which are the environmental sustainable, economic sustainability, and social sustainability, which includes the key constructs like resource efficiency, emission reduction, and waste management. And the economic sustainability includes the key constraints, cost optimization, value chain strengthening, market diversification. And the social sustainability includes the key constructs, community development, health and safety, and stakeholder engagement, which is measured through the environmental metrics, through the economic metrics, and social metrics. So, that will lead to the sustainable strategy. And sustainable strategy is our development. These are the objectives. So, first objective is to explore the sustainable strategy adopted by selected steel industries in Odisha across environmental, economic, and social dimensions. To identify the effectiveness and the implementation of this strategy in promoting long-term sustainable development within the regional industries with respect to Odisha. To demonstrate actionable recommendations for enhancing sustainable practices in the selected steel industries in Odisha. These are our hypotheses. There is no significant variation in the adoption. So the methodology we have chosen, that is all about the total number of literature is 45, the research lab identified, then the conceptual models that I have demonstrated, the objective also I have demonstrated, the questionnaire design, a number of questions is 35. So on the basis of the line construct, we have designed 35 construct, 35 questions. So and we have collected the data, and the primary data is collected through structured questionnaires. Okay.
We can move on to findings because we have another 2 minutes.
So basically, after we have done the factor analysis to validate our construct, and all the eigenvalues values are more than 0.7. So that we have taken all our constructs, T construct, line construct. So after that, we have gone for the ANOVA, and the ANOVA result I have showing here that we have for the hypothesis 1, the S value and P value both are significant. So we are accepting the null hypothesis, accepting the alternative hypothesis and rejecting the null hypothesis. And for the hypothesis 2 also the F value and P value are significant. Okay, so P value is less than 0.5. So here also we are accepting the alternative hypothesis and same as for the hypothesis 3. The key findings are the study revealed a significant variation in the adoption of sustainability strategy related to environmental aspects among the selected steel industries in Odisha. So the findings show that there is a variation in different industries that with respect to that whatever environmental sustainability, whatever strategy they have taken, it varies from industry to industry. So it basically varies, I think that. So this may vary due to the policy or compliances and all other aspects, or due to the size of the industry and other factors. This indicates that different industries are implementing environmental initiatives such as pollution control, energy efficiency, waste management, and resource conservation at varying levels of intensity and effectiveness. The inconsistency makes sense from disparities in technological capability, regulatory compliance levels, and organizational priorities. The findings showed a notable disparity in the economic sustainability practices adopted by steel industries in Odisha. Some industries are more focused on strategies that promote long-term financial performance, efficient resource use, cost management, and investment in sustainable technology, while others are lagging. So, to sum up, the finding underscores the need for a more coordinated and inclusive approach to sustainability in Odisha's steel sector. To bridge this gap, policy intervention, capacity building initiatives, regulatory enforcement, and interdisciplinary inter-industry collaboration are essential. Encouraging best practices, sharing and creating industry benchmarks can further ensure that sustainability become a collective and achievable goal for all stakeholders in the steel industry. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Think little bit things I seen that thing the little bit thing is missing. Maybe you read in a paper, but you are not visited here. So, what are the population size you have taken?
Actually, my population is all the steel plants in Odisha, but I have selected 4 steel plants on the basis of judgmental sampling because you can say that I cannot approach all the steel plants in Odisha, so that I have written also in my paper title that selected steel industries in Odisha. This is one of my limitations also.
And what basis you have selected this state?
On the basis of their size, geographical location, and also the town.
No, what Swami is indirectly asking, what the respondents to whom you have consulted? You have got a questionnaire?
Yes.
Okay. So how many persons from one industry? So that is sample size like this.
Sir, actually I have contacted the HR managers and the sustainable managers, CSR managers. So I have distributed the questionnaire not to all employees in every state plant. I have distributed the questionnaire in Google Form to the HR manager and the sustainable manager. They are looking after the CSR activity.
How
support.
So did you go through that? How many?
Yes, sir.
So out of 700,
724.
it's sample size.
Sample size.
So only 774 you are sent this questionnaire or more?
No, sir.
How much?
Sir, more than 900 questionnaire I have sent to Google Form, but I have received 724. My, according to the sample size collection formula, my sample is
Okay.
more than.
So you have hit that one, all like data validity or reliability of the
Yes,
data.
sir. It is there in my paper.
Paper. Okay. Here we cannot see this. Telling that something is missing here. Okay. So why you choose ANAVA? Why not another things? You have another things to prove this hypothesis or objective. You know any kind of things without ANAVA?
So actually, I have taken some independent variable and dependent variable. For that reason, I have chosen. I think that ANUPA is an appropriate technique for.
Why not multi-regression?
Yes, we can do the multiple regression also. But.
Okay. So your like conclusion is like in a steel industry. Come to the conclusion. Yeah. Steel industry basically like sustainable in Odisha only. So in this same pattern, whatever the like your conceptual model. So if I can put same formula, whatever the things you did in a total India's data. So that sustainable part accuracy, how much accuracy may come? Thinking about that probability. Then you can see because the comparison is a record. I am seeing lot of like papers, so they are not compared. So comparison because already you are my scholar, that's why I can tell you like and I already have 15 years experience also teaching experience. So you have to know, you have to compare because one model you did in Odisha, some is steel industry you are gone through that. So in the next part you have to do the total India, whatever the steel industry data is there, that data you can input here, how much accuracy will come. Then you can say your model is a robot model. We're getting the point because the minimum data 600 is a peanut. Okay, 600 or 700 data is a peanut according to our population in India. So that you have to do same model. It is a working on model. How much accuracy? It's a good 90%. That is good. Another you have to change your model.
That is a super picture.
Thank you very much.
Just take me as a fellow scholar or a student, don't mind. I have a few observations. Hope you will be taking the observation kindly. We all are scholars. If we all can suggest for betterment of research quality kind of thing. What you have done is a really very big claim. Okay? I don't know, like you don't answer, please. You ask yourself. Sending online Google form, 700 responding, something I should not say unbelievable, hazard nahi hua, one cannot believe. So how steel industry people are responding 700? We have tried. You won't believe. We have experimented similar exercise. We had sent online forms to more than 1,700 valid email. Can you believe how much response we got? The scholar who had sent to valid 1,700 email ID, we got only one response. And he was the brother-in-law of the scholar.
Actually, my colleague.
Listen. Even he visited the industries. You yourself have suggested openly, you have not visited. Now coming again, we are all scholars. Okay, I also work, so I also learn. Now when you are talking of strategy, should we ask Tom, Dick, Harry of industry, why so much? When you are looking at a very broad strategy, I would think like it will be structured online questionnaire, it will be fit for all kind of thing. Okay? So it could be like in-depth interview, one survey. And coming back to your, that should be clearly written. Actually, it undermines the finding. I don't know like if any standard journal will feel that. Don't feel that. Okay? I'm just suggesting how you can improve. Now coming to your conceptual model, the last one like what you suggested like strategy. Is it measurable? You have to put up like metrics, okay? And the last one, if it is your measure criteria variable, dependent variable, is it really variable? How do you quantify this? And what Star was asking, how you are using like multiple regression or ANOVA, okay? Is it really justified? So you are a senior scholar and teacher, think over it, okay? This one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for your presentation. So we come to an end of technical session 2. My special thanks to session chair, Professor Dr. Alan Chupri sir, and co-chair Dr. Bhagirathi Naik sir. Thank you for your valuable insights. So now I will request Professor Ritu to take over.
I take this moment to thank our esteemed chair, Professor Dr. Ravi Sumudhi, and the track co-chair, Professor Dr. Bhagirathi Naik, for their insightful overview. I would also like to thank Dr. Shraddha Padma Das for having a very balanced and even-headed approach throughout the proceedings. And now I would like to request the Director, Statutory Compliance and Communication, Dr. Ashok Panda, to come upon the stage and felicitate, as well as Honorable Principal Professor Dr. Sharmila Subramanian to come upon the stage and felicitate our esteemed Chair and Co-Chair for their valuable contribution to this continuing track. So we request you to please come join us. Can I please request necessary arrangements to be made? We are hereby felicitating the track chair, Professor Dr. Ravi Sumudhi sir. A usual round of applause, everyone. And now may I request our Director to felicitate the track co-chair, Professor Dr. Bhagirathi Naik sir. It was an absolute pleasure, sir, the way you have rightfully highlighted the areas of improvement for all our paper presenters. It was critically engaging as well. Thank you so much. And now I officially announce that the session for track 2 has been dismissed. We can all disperse for a lunch break. And I would request all of the paper presenters for track 3 to assemble here back at 2:30 sharp. We would resume track 3 on the given time. Thank you so much for your patience and understanding.
लंच